Hello, hello. Okay, let's quickly go over, I guess, Pro League Season 3, a recap. Um, yeah, so it concluded, I guess, last Sunday, so it's been a little bit. I know Itano and Consciously Eating has already done a bit of a recap, Week 5 recap, and also overall recap of the season. So if you want to check that out, you can, I think you should do that. That'd be pretty nice. Give them some love. But yeah, I was thinking I would also do my own recap, go over some of the things that you know, that I thought about, things that I noticed, and also, just talk about how the season went and everything like that. So yeah, I think that would be pretty fun to do. I think it'd be pretty informative as to what I was thinking as a team leader, the sort of things that I was looking at as well, and thinking about. So hopefully that's going to be a little bit, I guess, informative for what I was thinking about, and stuff like that. Okay, so I guess let's go over the whole thing, and let's see who won, which team won. Let me just see if I can zoom out here. Small screen. Okay, so well played to all the teams. First off, I guess thanks for everyone who played and who was a part of the whole event. I know some of the games weren't quite completed because of timing issues or scheduling issues. I know Nigat, for example, was out of the country for unexpectedly a long time, so stuff like that is really unfortunate, but it happens. Actually, why don't we talk in the chat? Let me just log in here. Um, Change that to something else. Okay, that's not what we're gonna do, but while I log in, that should be fine. Cool. Back to this. Let me just copy what I said. Cool. Back to the other phone. Okay, so yeah, I think they went over the draft system and who did the best in the draft and MVPs for each team, that sort of thing. So you know what? We'll just copy that honestly, and I'll give you what I thought of the draft and all of that. So the draft, how did it go? Um, I think on paper, like back then, because obviously, if we were to do a draft right now, I'm sure the standings would be different and people would choose different people. Some players, such as like Joshers, would be like really highly seeded compared to what they thought back then. So I know there was a little bit of banter between like Niat and Beatflits, and also we were talking about how Weirdrat had a pretty poor team. But yeah, I guess we should go over some of the draft process and what sort of things happen and stuff like that. I think most of the draft picks really make a lot of sense. The first question mark for me was, hey, Glaba taking Yummy Blah Blah. That seems pretty weird, especially when there's like Guinness on the table still. But that's only very slightly weird, and Glaba justified it with like the camaraderie and also just the I guess the for old time's sake kind of thing. So it makes sense. And Yummy played really well as well in the tournament, so in the Pro League, so it works out. I think Matthew N was actually not a bad pick back then. I think it made sense. One thing that really want to note is that other than AC and Yummy here and Guinness, I guess, and El Bardo. But anyways, most of the players, the team leads actually chose like newer players, which I think makes sense. You there, it's like a element of gambling on what you think has a higher ceiling rather than like a proven high floor. I think, like it's Jay and Steven are very good players, but at least for me, my mindset was these are like proven entities. I kind of want to do some newer players, and yeah, that's basically was my mindset. Yeah, like choosing Alberto felt really weird out of Weird Rat, in my opinion. But other than that, I think the draft went pretty well for most players. from his teams. Like it made sense to me at the time, other than a few picks. Um, so yeah, I think the draft went pretty well. Um, yeah, I think I was a bit more gambly. I really wanted to do some new players and train them up, that sort of thing. So that was kind of my mindset and what I chose to do. I purposely like pick two or even pick one. I like it's Jay or Stevenator were really good picks on paper at that time. So stuff like that I could have picked, but I chose to go for the unknown quantity of newer players and hopefully add some variety and add some insight to them and train them up, that sort of thing. So my team, we did pretty well actually. I think we played way over what we were supposed to play essentially, especially because we had like the worst draft possession other than Weird Rat, and even I think worse than Weird Rat. So just us doing that well, placing third and actually kind of contending with the top is absolutely amazing in my opinion. So coming into this with last seed and I wasn't really expecting much. I was thinking, hey, maybe we might get like fourth place. If we play well, a third place maybe. But yeah, even doing this good was really well, I think, for our team, and really proud of them. So well played to all of us. And to everyone else as well. I think, especially Beatfless's team, they definitely put in the time and effort to really grind some games, get a lot better. I think that there was a noticeable improvement for all the players. So I think props to Team Beatflitz in that regard. Cool. I guess let's go into the individual weeks. I can talk a little bit of what happened. We don't really need to, but we could. Or maybe we should go for like the MVP situation for our team and stuff like that. I pretty much agree with what they said on their video of who should be the MVP for each tier of players. There's not much really to say about that. Um, but yeah, okay. Let's look at the week by week preparation. I think I'll actually release the preparation videos that I did. So one thing to go off of or to note is that for my team, pretty much everyone other than myself were like European players and or they were like available at times where I was not available. So I was mostly available in like the evenings in my time because of work and stuff. So I really didn't have like face to face like play some games with my players, that sort of opportunities. So that was obviously unfortunate. But rather, it's still, that sort of things happens. So what I tried to do is I made the most of my time that I could. I mostly did like replay reviews. The first week I did a little bit more of like talking about builds and what I think we should do. But weeks 2 and onwards, that was mostly just through text in the Discord channel that we had, the Discord server that we had. So, but other than that, I did replay reviews. I think in total I played like 2 or 3 games against Gandhi, and that was it. I never played against Gyarados. Maybe, yeah, I don't think so. I never played against Hydra. I never played with Wiggy or Diantep. So, yeah, really unfortunate in that sense where I wasn't able to actually work with my players like individually at like a real time feedback sort of loop. But I guess that's just a matter of time zones and issues like that. So that was although that was really unfortunate. It was still alright. I guess we got some of the coaching stuff done, replay review, and some tips on what I thought were the best way to approach matchups and stuff like that. So yeah, okay. Let's go into week 1. We'll go over my personal replays and what I was thinking for that. But so once I saw my team, uh, I asked them like, hey, what do you want to play? What sort of style do you want to do? Is there something that you really want me to teach you and stuff like that? I wanted to make it so that our players we would have like one beast player, which would be Gandhi. I wanted Gyarados to play Mech, and then Hydra would play Rax, and Diantep would also play Rax. That was kind of like the game plan. For Hydra, Hydra is a top GM, like top 50 GM in StarCraft 2 on the European server. So, but he wasn't looking to put in too much time. So he said something like I could spend maybe an hour a week, maybe a little bit more on Littlewargame. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I respect that you have other priorities and you want to spend some time on that. So for Hydra, the game plan was, hey, we'll get you really solid with one specific build, and we'll build on from there. And then for Gandhi, I was like from his playstyle. So I asked everyone to submit a few replays, and I looked through them and saw what sort of playstyles would fit for their for how they play, what sort of openings would fit. Gandhi, I was like, hey, let's probably play a beast for you. And then for Gyarados, he was the most flexible. He in his replays he showed me Beast and Rax and Mech play. So I was like, hey, we don't have a Mech player. I think you should play Mech. And he ended up not playing Mech. He didn't really like it. So that is a thing. And then Diantep was like, I want to play Rax. I'm like, sounds good. We'll play Rax with you as well. So yeah, that was basically what the plan was. Week one went pretty well. Not much to say, I guess. I guess we just played really well. Gyarados taking two maps 2-0, Gandhi 2-0, Hydra 2-1. I was actually impressed with Hydra's cheese defense in game 3, where he defended I think it was a Workshop Rax and a Tower Rush build out of Speedy Bozar, which was very well prepared in my opinion. And I like when I saw the build in the replay, I expected Hydra to lose because it's something that I didn't assume that Hydra knew how to had prepared for or knew how to defend. So I did like defending the vast majority, not the vast majority, the most common cheeses with each race. So I had like a video on that. So I had, okay, how do you defend 2 Den? How do you defend 2 Rax? How do you defend Werewolf? Stuff like that for each race. So, or for each opening. And so 1 Rax, 1 Workshop is a tricky cheese to defend. It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world. And also, it was blindsided, of course, and I didn't go over the how to defend it. So I was really surprised by Hydra defending it very well. So props to Hydra. And yeah, so Diantep here and Gyarados, they didn't exactly do what I said, or what I recommended, but they got off with the win. So well done, and excellent start to the Pro League season. Week 2, we played against Team Slammer. No substitutions, so it is what it is. I didn't play, Slammer did not play. It's just a straight up fight. And this is the winning team, by the way, and we defeat them 6-9, so or 9-6. So pretty excellent win in my opinion. I think everyone played pretty well. Wiggy, okay, so for those of you who don't know, we initially had Neo email, but I was not able to get in touch with them. I think they just stopped playing Littlewargame after that initial rush. And then just, yeah, we were replaced with Wiggy, and I think Wiggy, I kind of feel bad for him in the sense that we didn't have too much time to prep with him. There was definitely some, and he did play twice, but after that point, I felt that it would help our team's chances a bit better if he was the weakest player on our team essentially. So I kind of do feel a little bit bad for subbing out weeks 4 and 5, but. Yeah, okay, that's just like for the win. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. I think Wiggy also didn't put too much time into Littlewargame as well. I remember putting like doing like the videos, and I can see like if they watch the videos or not, right? The replays that I get. So yeah. Anyways, Gyarados taking him out of Guinness, extremely well played. And excellent. Gandhi, okay, so Gandhi versus Guy in chat. This was one of the things that where Gandhi was really into it and doing a lot of preparation. So we talked a little bit about what we expected Guy in chat to do, and just an excellent win out of Gandhi here. So a bit of preparation victory as well. Hydra versus B-Sherm. Game 1 goes pretty well, and then Game 2, Bisham tries a werewolf cheese, which was one of the things that I covered in the video on how to defend. Yes, it was a slight twist to it because he went for the advanced workshop, but just an excellent hold by Hydra, and we take that 2 as well. Wiggy is a new type, we lose unfortunately. Diantep takes down Highlander Ghost. So an excellent start to week 2 as well. Cool. Week 3. So week 3 this is probably my biggest mistake as a team leader, doing this swap between Hydra and Gandhi for against Zalos, and this was originally going to be Sadocaster, I believe. Maybe. Probably. If I had to guess. I'm not exact 100% sure, but I think it was Sadocaster. Yeah, so it was what we had was either it would be Gandhi versus Zalos, or at least from my point of view, it was either going to be Gandhi versus Zalos or Hydra versus Zalos. Sorry, Gandhi versus Zalos and Hydra versus Sado, or vice versa, right? So I guess this was a coaching mistake in my opinion. I guess I think stylistically, the one thing that I didn't really like was that it was going to be like if uh, it was going like Gandhi versus Zalos and also Hydra versus Sado, it would be a mirror matchup here, which is kind of weird. And then Gandhi playing against, I don't know. There was logic to it. I remember asking Hydra how he felt about the swap, and also Gandhi also asking how he felt about the swap. Hydra and Zalos played like three or five or something like that ladder matches, and Hydra had a bit of an edge. It was like 2-1 or 3-2 for Hydra, so I was like, okay, we should definitely do that. And then also we had some good scouting information from Zalos, or at least what I thought was really good. So we predicted him to play mech every single game, like opening mech and doing it, and we prepared some builds against mech specifically. But he opened Rax, I believe. So did not work out as planned. And then Yummy versus Gandhi. Honestly, this could have went a lot better. I think Gandhi had a really good chance in game one, where he actually had a clean. Was it game one? Yeah, game one on altitude, where he had a pretty clean defense early on, and then he had an advantage going into the mid game, but he just didn't do much with it. So, and I think after that loss, it kind of was a bit downhill for Gandhi there. But this was also a match that we could have won. JN versus Wiggy, unfortunately we lose. And then Diantep versus Rolly. This was, of course, some good preparation out of us. I guess everyone knows that Littlewargame is a very cheesy player, very aggressive player. And I told him, hey, or I've told Diantep, just tower up on 2 bases. And you can cancel it last second if you want. And, wall off completely is also an option. So yeah, Diantep, excellent. Diantep was excellent. He definitely listened to my feedback. Like whenever I did replay reviews, he would like go over them and also make sure to implement what I said. So just incredible growth out of Diantep, and also in the preparation aspect as well. He trusted me, and sometimes it didn't go very well when I messed up the preparation, so I do kind of feel bad. But when things went well, things went really well. So yeah, this is definitely unfortunate. If I were to take something back from this season and undo something, I think it'd be this, where I'd have Hydra play against Salos, and I mean Gandhi play against Salos, and leave Hydra into the third seed. Would it have changed the result? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe not. We'll see, or we can't see. But all right, and then week 4. I swapped in to play against Hafi and won, which is nice. Gyarados taking down Beefless 02 was really nice as well. Durstaf versus Hydra. There was also a preparation win in here. I looked through a lot of Durstaf replays and saw that he liked to do. Like Hydra doesn't have time to go over it, so all the replay reviews and scouting was done by me essentially. So we looked into Durstaf's reviews and saw that he really liked to do this sort of 2 base, 2 racks, pull all the workers, not all the workers, but pull some workers, go for an archer push. And I recognized that, and I was like, let's do a quick third base into a quick quick workshop for catapults, or something either that or go for a quick workshop into catapults into a quick third base, something like that. But we played against him on Xenos, and that's exactly what he did. And when Hydra just completely shut down that push, that was like preparation victory. Let's go. That's just a win for us. So it feels really good. Josh's versus Gandhi was a preparation loss for me as well. So Jade Wadi, I really expected Josh's. Like I looked at a whole bunch of Josh's replay. He did a lot of interesting stuff. Like he was very varied in his play, which was really nice. Like for example, in on Sylvan Charm, he would always do, or pretty much always do, the fast expand into tower in each base into mech into gyros. So that's something like I told Gandhi, hey, if you happen to play him on Sylvan Charm, actually, it might be a good idea to even choose Sylvan Charm because there's a very good chance that he's going to do that specific build, and you'll be ready for that. So that was one thing. The game plan was Open Beast, confirm that it's that build, and just go super greedy into third base, like one den third base into Advanced Workshop. That was the plan, anyways. But yeah, so that was sort of the plan on Sylvan Charm if we went there. But he chose not to take him to Sylvan Charm, which is unfortunate. Gandhi did, that is. And then for on Jade Wadi, we expected him. Hey, he's a pretty smart player. He's pretty varied. I think there's a good chance that he's going to go for Proxy Raider, double Proxy Raider, 2-Rex Raider. But that didn't happen. So preparation missed out of me. My responsibility for losing Jade Wadi. And I think Gandhi is a player where if he loses a map, he kind of like mentally checks out and is like, oh shoot, and kind of loses the next game as well. So yeah, I think that's definitely a mistake on my part. And then it's Jay versus Diantep. This was a very touch matchup. I also did the preparation thing, and I expected it's Jay to play a standard, straight up no nonsense, just one raider or double raider expand, and that's it sort of thing. But actually, that's not what they did. They went for a 2-den in both maps, and our prepared build of a 2-Rex archer did not work. So unfortunate. Yeah, so the preparation miss out of me. Unfortunate for sure. So that is definitely my fault. And then week 5. Did I miss a week? No, okay. Week 5 against Nigat's team. Unfortunately, we had some missed games. Let's see how many missed games there were. There was one in here. Okay, so Nigat versus Matthew N was not played. Nigat gets the default. Slammer versus Nigat was also not played. Guy in Chat versus Hollow Knife were not played. Lily B versus Albardo not played. Nigat versus me, Salem versus Gandhi, and Hollow-Knife versus Diantep. Oh, and Bisham versus Speedy Bozar. I have stuff to say about this, but maybe it's better left unsaid. Yeah, probably better left unsaid. Anyways, unfortunate that a lot of these games at the end was like a default win, but that's kind of the way it goes. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate, really. I think definitely a lot of interest was dropped after like weeks 2, weeks 3, that sort of thing. Same thing sort of happened in last Pro League as well. It was only 3 weeks of play and then one final week where it was just the finals and third place match. And even then, I could tell the players were really, I guess, tired by the end of it. And this being 5 weeks is longer than 3 weeks, longer than 4 weeks, so makes sense. But really unfortunate for sure. Yeah, so AC versus Gyarados. This was definitely a tough match, but we actually thought we could win this, actually. I did mention a build, like the Wolf Gat was also a prepared build. We were like, hey, AC had trouble beating this. Maybe there's a good chance he's also going to have trouble beating it, defending it again. So that was prepared. Hydra versus Mderg. Losing a map is unfortunate. And then Gandia, unfortunately, was pretty frustrated with Ceylin. I believe they scheduled matches twice, but Ceylin didn't show up for both of them. I believe it wasn't that he didn't show up, but they had the times wrong or something like that. They miscommunicated or something. But that was really unfortunate for sure. But that's the fifth week. A little bit of a unfortunate ending to the week, but that does happen. Cool. So for MVP of our team, it's gonna be Diantep. Actually, imagine this. Let's say you're a new player to Littlewargame. Maybe you joined just because of Hearthstone or Grubby or someone like that, and you joined with a whole bunch of new players, and you hear about this Proleague thingy. Oh, Proleague, that sounds pretty interesting. You know, maybe I'm not a pro. I just started the game, but you know, I really want to be involved. So you sign up, right? You don't expect to do too well. You don't expect to be picked first or in the first two or first three seeds. Maybe even the first 4 rounds, but you know, time after time, other people get picked. You know, you get people like that join at the same time go, and eventually, let's say you're the last person picked, literally the last person. Like there's no one behind you essentially, and that sucks. Of course, it feels really bad, but if you look at his performance, Diantep basically winning every single match except for one against ItzJ. And also he lost ones against no. No, he just literally just wins every single match that he needs to win. Except for the one where he was wild, like ItzJ comes in to fight him and like, hey, if you're playing ItzJ against Diantep, you know, that's a good swap, but still, you know. So yeah, Diantep absolutely smashing the fifth, sixth seed, fourth seed, that sort of lineup, and not dropping a single series. And also was really receptive to feedback, you know, asking for advice, and also if like dying on the hill essentially, like when I said, hey, you know, here's what you're gonna do against ItzJ, and you know, it doesn't work out, but you know, just trusting in me, I guess, and me failing him, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that was just excellent play out of Diantep, getting the 0-2 versus everyone, getting the win against everyone that he was. He and all these games were like pretty close too. So excellent wins out of Diantep. I honestly think that he is our MVP. Like me, sure I did well, but I think no, I think no, I think just Diantep played really well. Did exactly what he needed to do. MVP for our team. So now that all that is done, let's get into the fun part and let's talk a little bit about the replays. And my did the server crash? Doesn't seem like it crashed. I'm still in the game, or so unlikely, but maybe. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so let's look at some of the games. I guess we'll do it in chronological order. So we're gonna look at my replays against. Where is it? Replay against Weird Rat. All right, so let's talk a little bit about preparation and what I did against Weird Rat in preparation sense. Literally nothing. Weird Rat and I, we just play too much. We know each other very, very well. So my game plan going into this, who is this? Hello. Hi. I'm streaming. Sorry. I don't know if they're still online. Doesn't seem like it. But yeah, so Weird Rats, right? I didn't have anything prepared in particular. I just wanted to play whatever. I expected him to play whatever as well. It really isn't worth really like me putting in the effort. Like, yes, you can do some preparation, go over some of his replays. Maybe he's favoring like a 6-rack style at the moment, that sort of thing. but I didn't think it was worth the time and effort. I just wanted to get it over with, and I believe we played this on literally the first day we were able to play it. I messaged him and like, hey, do you want to play our games today? And he's like, nah. But I'm like, hey, are you sure? And he's like, okay, fine. So we literally hop into the game really, really, like, as soon as we could, and we played the games immediately. Um, yeah, I didn't really have like a plan or anything. Um, Actually, I did in game two. I was thinking about something. Um, but one of the difficulties with me playing against Weird Rat is he knows basically all the builds that I've done because I test all my builds against him. So he knows all my super secret stuff. Not that there's too much of it, but yeah. So that was basically my mindset. I was like, hey, I'll just play whatever, and we'll see how it goes. So here we go. A little bit slow to my first worker, but that is on purpose because I'm gonna go for a quick house. There we go. So I just wanted to be extra safe in this game. My mindset was, hey, I think I'm actually still slightly better than you. I'm gonna just play extra safe. Go for a bit of a cheeky, fast raider expand, and we just go. This is just some banter in the early game. Just me being like, hey, now I'm finally playing in Proleague. Yeah. And then, so I guess me talking about like, hey, I'm not prepared for this. I think I'm gonna lose. Is for most of my games against other people, like just most of my games in like tournaments as well, I am very well prepared. I think I probably spend the most time out of any other player just preparing and like thinking about like going over other people's replays and thinking about what I should do to stylistically play against them, that sort of thing. But I didn't really do that for this match against Weird Rat, so definitely didn't feel prepared at all. But I just wanted to get it over with. So yeah, Fast Raider. We're just gonna go around and not straight across the middle, I believe. Just to do some extra scouting. So this is a bit of a mind game. Most people proxy on this side, and I know Weird Rat also likes to proxy on this side, so therefore I'm just gonna scout this side instead. And then I time it so that hopefully it just goes in and tries to deny this castle before the first raider happens, but let's put it back to regular speed. Guess what? I lose the raiders on both sides actually. So this is a coin flip. I think I lose that. This, I do some damage to this, but this raider is basically now going to be trapped on two sides. I try to flash away on this side. So I try to save it, but currently I'm one raider down, which is not good at all. I'm going to try to go to this high ground, I think, to save it. It's been a while since I've seen this game, so... Yeah, I try to go over here to hide it. Weird Rat is on top of his micro here, make sure he goes it. Tries to flash. Here I get it. I get a little bit cocky. I try to do the flash thing and try to get the first hit and hopefully win the duel. But I take an extra hit, so hey, that's not good. So this decision to go for a workshop, what does this mean? So this means I'm pretty scared. I'm just going to play really defensive. After losing the first raider, and at this point I kind of knew I was going to lose the second raider as well, I'm thinking, hey, I just need to be very defensive. I think I'm good. So at this point my mind is like, I want to play two base really defensive. Hey Square, who do you think the top 5 players are in order? If you want to say top 5, I don't know. What order do you want it? Like, do you want it in like? I think this is Matthew N, by the way. I'm not entirely sure. I think so. Yeah, I remember you saying you were Matthew N in an entire stream. Yeah. So top 5 as in like skill level, like raw mechanics, or like top 5 as in like the ladder, best to worst, best to least best. That's a tough question. Do I put Haffy first? Do I put... I think mechanically, Haffy is probably top. Like, AC isn't quite into it. I'm mechanically not that good compared to like Haffy or AC or some of the other top players. I think for me, what I've got really going for me is I have a good understanding of the game and I'm very flexible, I would say. And I also like to gamble in the sense that I go for risky builds, risky plays that someone like Haffy doesn't go for. So that definitely adds to my, I guess, scariness in a way. Whereas Haffy generally likes to play very one-dimensional, very safe, very efficient, that sort of play. Um, I don't know. I don't. I really don't want to put myself first, so I'm not gonna do that. AC isn't. AC's pretty good. Like right now, I don't know. This is really tough. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna put Haffy number one. His ladder ratings, I believe he's top one and top two at the same time at the moment. Most people put me first, but they're overthinking it. They're overrating me. I'm overrated, honestly. Like, the only thing that really like lets me hang at the top, I think, is my understanding of the game and the flexibility that I have and the preparation that I do. Yeah, other than that, my I think, and I guess my willingness to go for like risky builds, risky plays. So I guess if you, I don't know. I guess that does is make part of it, but at the same time, if you want to go for raw skill, like then I think it would probably be Haffy. Like if like I think I have a good chance of winning like maybe a best of three, best of five, best of seven. But if we do something like I don't know, there was a joke in the thing where it's best of 69. I think by that time I think I run out of tricks and Happy adapts well enough to probably convincingly beat me. Um, yeah. So I think I'm gonna put Happy number one, um, and then myself. To be honest. Um, Actually, no, because AC. I think AC does like stylistically how me and AC match up. AC has gotten the better of me most of the time. Even though I think a lot of the other players think I'm scarier than AC. I don't know, man. It's really tough because this all of this is very arbitrary and like some people are really good against some styles and stuff like that. You know what? I'm not gonna rank them. I think like so like the top echelon S tier is like Haffy, myself, AC, and Weird Rat as well. Weird Rat's been hasn't been playing as much recently. Same here with myself, so definitely falling off a bit for sure. And then below that, like Slammer's pretty good. Destroy Call when he's on form is really good. Who else? Yourself, you're pretty good, Matthew N. You're pretty good. Like, who else is really good? Like, Avocado Lord is pretty good. Josh's is actually pretty good as well. Josh's has been putting in a ton of practice and really, really leveled up. So there's a lot of players that you could say. And then also you can't really forget people like Guinness. Guinness, very solid, very tricky player as well. Josh's is a crazy opponent on ladder. Avocado Lord is actually insane. Yeah, I agree. Avocado Lord is really Avocado Lord and Joshers. They're really good in the sense that like Avocado Lord though is like very one dimensional, similar to Haffy. Not as much as Haffy is, but like definitely you can see the influence in play styles, the similarities. Joshers is a bit more flexible, so I would actually like if I were to choose someone that I think is like of like a next generation talent. Definitely Joshers. I like Joshers. I think his play is really cool. I like that he does a lot of different stuff. Um, Definitely an up and comer for sure. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And also, like you got people like Daz as well. Some of the old guard who have they have like a slightly different viewpoint of the game, and like so they'll do some crazy stuff where some of the newer players don't really expect, and they can really surprise them. I don't know. It's really up in the air. It's arbitrary, anyways. If you want to go for solid facts, you can look at the MMR. I think it's Haffy and then AC. But like honestly, ladder isn't exactly the best quote unquote method of determining that. But yeah, that's just me rambling on about stuff. Hopefully that answered your question. But yeah, back to the game. I'm thinking I'm very behind. I lost my first raider. I'm probably gonna lose my second raider as well. And I'm just playing. Hey, I need to be really defensive. I don't want to die And I want to do some sort of two-base thing where I just try to survive in some way and hopefully go for some sort of two-base push that catches him being super greedy or something like that. Hopefully get a good fight with catapults versus racks, versus like archers. That's the plan. Weird Rat, uncharacteristically, I must add. So Weird Rat, I expect him. If this was any other normal game, I think with that early advantage, he just goes, "Hey, take a quick third, play from there," and that sort of thing. That's more of his play style. That's what I expect him to do. But instead, he does go for this sort of extra safe. Hey, it's a Pro League game. I don't want to lose. That sort of thing. A little bit of skirmish here. Not the best control out of both players, but passable for sure. Crucially, this scout, okay, so this is something I did intentionally. I put these archers out in the front a little bit, so Weird doesn't actually scout this workshop. So if you look at his vision, he doesn't see it at all. He doesn't actually see the base at all either, but small little thing. So I will put this here for the wall because I would like a wall, but I try to see if, maybe I can prevent him from scouting it. That's probably good for me as well. So that is something. I do mess up the wall though. It's not exactly completely walled, but that's okay. Rira is going to go for a workshop as well, so he's also going to go for a two-base play. This is kind of like the mind game settling in, where we want to play a little bit differently to what we usually play. I think if we played like a random game today, there's basically no chance in hell that this sort of play happens. This is a bit of it's a tournament game. What's going on? Something weird is going on. Different mindset, crazy mindset. I'm gonna go for an advanced workshop, and essentially I'm trying to fake and / didn't pretend that I'm going for a third base. I think a lot. I guess what Weird Rat was thinking is, hey, Square Root likes to go for a quick third base generally, so I'm gonna do a two-base push, and that's basically my thoughts as well. So yeah, we're just going into a weird two-base versus two-base situation, which you probably won't expect to see if in custom game, but that's kind of the way it goes. And then I'll just speed things up. We're taking down these center forges in the middle to open up new attack paths. And then I go for a drop. So I load up 2 workers here. So here's what I was thinking. I think either you take... I didn't scout because I didn't have any raiders. But either Weird Rat takes this space over here in the bottom right, or he takes this space over here. Either way, I was gonna take this airship, go and just kind of tower up the high ground, tower up either this high ground or that high ground, and then go from there. That was the plan. Yeah, so that was essentially the plan. I thought it was very unlikely that he takes this third base because generally people like to take this third base. So yeah, that was my expectation, and I wanted to hit the main base at the same time as building a bit of a retreating, like a chokehold in his main base. These raiders are going around trying to see if I have a third base, but I don't. One little thing is I put these on the high ground over here so that they can kind of poke at a raider. At the same time, Rira is moving up with his significantly larger army. So right now, if you look at the units, he has 13 archers to my 7, and the exact same number of catapults, so I'm very behind. And this should always kill me. At the same time, I'm doing a little bit of damage in here, but Rira obviously is very quick and responding, only uses a single worker. And right now, Weird is going for this weird push where he's cut workers. He's cut workers, so he's only at... he was at 11 and 10. So, am I right? Yeah, 11 and 10. So he cut basically at 10 each, and then going for this strong push. So this essentially has to do damage. It has to do significant damage, even though I'm also on 2 bases. I guess it doesn't have to, but that's the whole point of this push, right? Versus a 3-base player, it's intended to kill. Versus a 2-base player, maybe you do some damage. Maybe you want to, I guess, regain that deficit of workers. So, however, catapults are good defensively, so there's already a good shot here. And there's going to be more as we go on. And we're also just attacks A moves by A moving. All this damage is just going into this workshop when it could be going into units. So unfortunate for Rerat. And I'm still doing what I can over here with these catapult drops. So the workshop does go down, but at the cost of a lot of lost DPS. So, and I do have a second workshop, so that means that's fine. And my catapults, his catapults are very far behind, not actually contributing much to the fight. They were just attacking this, and that allows me to get a few extra shots with my own catapult on his archers, allowing me to take a better fight than I really should have. At the same time, my catapult drop is still doing some work, and we unfortunately didn't quite respond to this. I also have a tower in his main as well. So yeah, this fight at home goes way better than it really should have. This fight I should be dead to if Weird Rat micros this fight very well, but luckily for me I had this catatrop going on at the same time. He has to deal with it, and I hold the front. I also do a lot of significant damage, and I am somehow, miraculously after a really bad start, in a better position. So I guess just essentially me just out-microing, out-multitasking Weird Rat. This gets spotted, and he pulls the workers to defend it, but as you can see, I shift-click the workers to try to pick off the weak ones, which is something that you should do if you have towers. Like, let's say if you have a tower and he's just attacking with a whole bunch of archers, let's say that he has like a couple of weak archers, you can target down the weaker archers to reduce the DPS and all that. I try to get this worker here to repair this, but that is barely not in time, and this tower eventually does fall. So, a little bit unfortunate, and I lose the worker for it as well. But I do save the catapults, and I am up 10 workers, and I am going to try to take a third base. I'm floating a lot, though, because I'm bad. Yeah, third base. I accidentally put it to one tile too high, so I cancel it. But yeah, I'm in an excellent spot after winning the multitasking duel on both sides. So defending at home very sufficiently. If you look at the units lost, very good for me. And then also doing damage on the other side of the map. So we're at GG's after that happens, because he's just lost too much, and I win game 1. Cool. Really unexpected though. I played really poorly in the beginning, losing 2 raiders to nothing, and then going for this, this play. Fortunately, I do win because of better multitasking than Weird Rat, but not exactly an expected way, not an ideal situation at the beginning of the map as well. So cool. Let's hop into game 2. Game 2. Alright, game 2 on Ice Cold. So for game 2, I did have a bit of a plan. I didn't actually practice it, because I haven't had the chance to play against Weird Rat and practice this build. But I had theorized something where I wanted to go for a standard dead opening, and stay on 2 base, but go for a proxy werewolf and do some sort of, werewolves and wolves push. That was kind of the idea. Yeah. So it's just like a build that I wanted to try, but unfortunately I didn't practice it, and because I'm playing against Weird Rat. So yeah. But other than that, we can just play a little bit standard if that goes. So this worker that I just went out over here to try to sneak out, I mistime it. I don't know the timings on this map because this is a map I'm not too familiar with, and unfortunately I do not go across the map in time. The raider sees it, and there goes my plan, so I'm just playing standard from here, essentially. Unfortunate for me, but you know what? In a standard game, I can do pretty well as well, maybe. The raider, so this is that worker. The raider comes in and probably is going to snipe it. I think it does. He does snipe it. But yeah, a bit of an unfortunate start. Try to delay this raider by some worker micro, but Weird is going to get 1 worker. It's going to flash away and probably get the 2nd worker. Yep, there it is. So I'm down 2 workers. For this build, if you lose 2 workers, you're even basically. One worker or less, you're ahead. If you lose two workers, you're even or worse. So I'd say like 1.5 is okay because there's always that bit of lost mining time. If you lose two, I'd say you're a little bit behind. If you lose one, you're fine. So he took a lot more damage on this raider than he normally would because he went into the main. He took a little bit of damage here. Also took a little bit of damage on the way out. So even with 3 wolves, I feel like, hey, I think I might be able to get this. And this is a bit risky for sure. Would not recommend it in like a standard game, but I felt pretty good about my chances of getting this raider, and I do decide to chase it. Risky for sure, but it does pay off in the end for me. I believe I get it. And then Weird does also have something cheesy on his mind. He's going to go for the same build that I kind of expected, except with a different opening. Going to go for that that proxy werewolf. I do get this at the cost of 1 wolf, so I'm really happy with that. That's an excellent pick off for me, and I'm feeling really good. And then one thing I note is that I didn't see the third raider, so I'm expecting him to probably go for archers after 2 raiders, and that is indeed what he's doing. And I am feeling good enough to just go for a quick third base. No, I didn't see any extra raiders. I think that's good, and then I just go across the map, making sure to split my wolves over here. I'm looking for a third base potentially. This wolf also sneaks around in the back. So I talked to Weirdrat about this actually after. About I said, hey, you made a mistake. You let the wolf in on this side. So in my opinion, it's probably better to wall either here or here with that second house so that you deny the scouting in the main. According to him, I kind of don't believe him, but he said something like, "Oh, I actually wanted to let it go in, and I would fake something in the main," but I don't think that makes sense in my opinion. I kind of know what's up after seeing nothing. I think he quickly goes. I say thank you. He says dot dot, and he quickly tries to build like a Rax here or something. Maybe to try to trick me or something. I don't remember exactly. By this time, I know something is up. Look at my wolves; they're all going scouting. Essentially, I have these wolves all going scouting. But yeah, I definitely know something is up. In my opinion, this is absolutely a huge mistake letting this wolf in. He's put down a Rax, but that's nothing in my opinion. And I'm just scouting around. Look at all these wolves go around trying to find this hidden proxy or something like that. I probably should have, in retrospect, I probably should have left a wolf here, but that sort of happens. This raider comes in and does a little bit of damage, gets another worker. Unfortunate for sure. I did go for this fortress, but yeah, eventually I do scout this werewolf stand going, and I immediately bring everything over and try to destroy it. At the same time, putting down a tower in each base, because I don't know exactly when this came up, but I'm expecting it, if like as a contingency plan, to put down all these towers. And this, okay, so this advanced workshop also was constructed before seeing this because I wasn't sure what it was. Maybe some sort of crazy, like you proxy an advanced workshop and go for like catadrops or something. So this is just a very nice safety building to have. So I kept that, or I started building that before scouting the wolf's den, or the werewolf's den. But I believe I cancel it very soon after seeing what it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I cancel that eventually. But yeah, my wolves are attacking this. Maybe I don't. If I don't, that's just a straight up mistake. Fake lair tech fortress. For me or for him? I guess he could have went for a lair. Do I see that? Probably not. No, okay. I just keep this. For him. No, I don't see it, so I guess that could be it. But yeah. Take this down when the werewolf is... Let the wolf in and then fake the fortress. Yeah, that is an option for sure. I don't think he did it, though. Yeah, that would have, like, thrown me off. But I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what I was thinking with this advanced workshop. I probably should have canceled it. Like, I think it makes sense getting it initially when I didn't know it. Yeah, he didn't do that. I think I should have canceled this. This is a mistake for sure. So that's obviously not ideal. Going for this Dragon's Lair is pretty greedy, but I'm alright with it in my opinion. I think it's okay to do this. And then once this werewolf den is down, I'm pretty much chilling. I have another wolf in his main, just trying to double check what's going on. I think he's just gonna go for okay. I give up. I'm just gonna pull all the work. He pulls all his workers right now as well. Yeah, and he's just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna try to kill you. Hopefully you've been too greedy, which I tend to do sometimes. But yeah, uh, I see the workers and I'm like, okay, I know exactly what to do. Just pull all the workers myself, go for an extra den, and just try to prevent it. So essentially, as long as no tower goes up, I should be fine. And even this tower can go up, it's fine as well. As long as no tower gets into my infrastructure, I should be fine. So yeah, this is basically very interesting method. So I pulled these workers back because I was like, hey, this amount of units, I can just kill them with the wolves. So that was my thought process, but then he comes with more workers. I didn't see that, and I'm like, oh, he has more workers. Okay, I just gotta completely retreat. This is a huge attack, and I have towers, so let's just go back to my towers, and I should be fine. So the longer this game goes on, I'm feeling even more good, and this wolf is just continuing to do a little bit of damage as well. He commits onto the tower, but that's fine. I come in from both sides, and just a pretty clean defense. He does some nice hold position over here, which messes up my units' AI when I'm A-moving, as you can see. So I probably should have microed this a lot better. My fault for not doing so, because look at all these wolves just disturbing around, doing nothing. So this fight is going way better for him than it really should, but it's not quite enough. And I just have too many walls at the end of it, and this tower is not going to be able to go up either. And GG's call. So a bit of a anticlimactic series in my opinion. Not exactly like I didn't prepare anything in particular. Game 1 was kind of a dud in the sense that it wasn't like a nice epic battle, but just oh look, Weedrat kind of lost in the multitasking, so he's dead now, even though he had a really good advantage early on. And then Game 2 scouted, and that was basically it. So yeah, a win is a win though, and we take those. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this series. The next ones are pretty entertaining though, hopefully. We'll go into week 2. Week 2, where is week 2? Here's week 2. No, actually, sorry, week 2 I didn't play. So let's go into week 3. Okay, week 3 against Glaba. So I had the advantage of, I saw what Glaba did. I saw that he went for, or his team went for a lot of wolf snake, that sort of thing. Sorry, the wolf gat cheese. And I was like, there's a pretty good chance Glaba is going to bet that I didn't see any of these games, and he's going to try it again. So my game plan, so what I did is I played like 4 or 5 games on this map, just trying to get my scouting pattern done. So I prepared a double scout, so 2 worker scout on my side of the map, and just checking to see for any proxy locations. I practiced it with Weedrat like 4 or 5 times. I think I actually played against Daz that day as well, I think. Dragon Archer Z, and I also did just the same scouting pattern just to get that nailed in. So yeah, I was expecting a Wolfgat play again out of Glaba, and so my preparation is I'm just gonna double scout, and then even if it's not Wolfgat, so if it is Wolfgat, there's a good chance I see it and we win from there. Basically, just a free win out of from the scouting. Or, if that's not the case, it's just going to be a standard game where I'm a little bit behind, and I still think I can win that against Glava. So that was the plan. So my plan was one of the workers is going to check this side, up to like about here, and then come back, while the other one checks the other side, all the way around here, and it comes right back down. I believe when I first did the double scout, I literally missed Weird Rat's proxy workshop. I told him, hey, do the proxy workshop sometimes don't do it. I mixed it by 1 pixel when he put it like here. So I like checked around, and then when I was coming back, I came back this way, so I was really mad that I missed it. And then there was also one time where I missed it just barely on like this side as well, where I went like this way or this way or something, and I barely missed it on this side or something. So, yeah, I was a little bit frustrated in my practice games, but hopefully this one actually goes pretty well. So yeah, so standard Rax opening, because if he doesn't go the Wolfgat, he's probably just going to go Beast. So, and then if just Raider opening should be fine. So yeah, here's the double scout. As you can see, worker checks even up here, and is going to go all the way around. This worker is going to come all the way down as well. And voila, what do we see? Exactly what I predicted. Excellent preparation out of me. This deserves a round of applause. And we basically get a free build order win. And it's early enough so that he can't finish it, and that's a win. I can stop the replay here, and we're probably good. There is a chance that Glaba comes back and does the thing, and where he rebuilds it, but I was thinking it's very unlikely. Maybe he does, but even then, that means that his build is going to be delayed. Nice dodge out of him. I try to do the preemptive flash, but it doesn't quite work out. And here's my double check to see if there's a redone hidden workshop. So I check the same area again, but a little bit far behind, and then I just expand. So essentially, it's going to go into a standard game in which I think I'm favored. So this Raider's on the other side of the map, gets a free kill. This Raider is trying to do a little bit of damage, and it's just a standard game from here. Not much to say. I think I'm just a little bit more experienced, a little bit of a better player than Glaba is, and I'm gonna win it. So that's another wolf down. Right now I think it's 2. Yep, okay. So 1, 2, and also that first worker as well. So excellent start out of me so far. And also Glaba's probably mentally boomed after losing the thing. I do have this Raider in the middle of the map being idle. That is just a straight up mistake. Not good. I didn't hockey it probably, but that sort of thing does happen. And for me, you know, playing with Raiders, sometimes you gotta play really conservatively when you're... I think if you think you're the better player, it makes sense to just play very conservatively. As you can see, I'm playing pretty conservatively with my Raiders. Not trying to take too many risks. Like there, I could have went for a hit, but I just wanted to be a little bit safe. That sort of thing. And then from there, I do go for a second Rex as well, just to be extra safe. A lot of times in my normal games, I just go for a quick third, no matter what. Off of 1 Rex. I think that's most of the time you can get away with it, but I just want to be extra safe. Even with this excellent opening out of me, 4 wolves down already, I do want to be extra safe and go for a second Rex before going for a third base. This Raider does get trapped, but I does have enough mana to flash away, but I don't because I'm bad, and that is just a mistake out of me. So losing a Raider on the early game, not acceptable at all. That is just straight up me being bad. Shouldn't have happened. It even had to flash. So getting it trapped was the first mistake. Not flashing it out was the second mistake. Poor play out of me, but that's okay. And yeah. Glaba is going to go for a second. And this is only against 1 den too. So this is actually really bad by me. The second den is so late. After the Snake Charmer, so my Raider Micro, people say, oh, Squirt has really good Raider Micro, but in this game, it really hasn't been that good. It's just been mediocre at best. But it's good enough. I'm going to take a quick third base, quicker than my opponent, which is great. And then I stopped building Raiders because I have, like, you know, I have enough that I feel like with this amount of wolves, I should be fine. There's 2 more on the way, so that's good. And then I'm just going to macro up from there, and we're just going to play a macro game. Yeah, not much to say. Glaba does go for the snakes, as he usually does against Raiders. Yeah. But haven't lost another Raider yet after that first one, which is great. So this Raider, so I was taking a look at the front end, so I know there's a he doesn't have a third base essentially, and so I sack a raider into the main to see if there's anything, while also going for a quick tower because I haven't seen a third base yet. So just to be extra safe. I should flash that away once it has the mana. Oh, and I lose it because I'm bad. But this raider does go in and does the scouting, so that is good. Flash it away, please. Yes, okay. And then no control out of this. Oh, a little bit of control. And I also really should be just double checking the third bases again and again, which I'm not doing. So not the best play definitely out of me. This raider gets trapped, but it flashes away, which is good. Probably would have been safer just to flash away this way. Yeah, so I burned another flash for no reason here as well. Not good. But we are ahead economically, and we're ahead production-wise as well. We have 4 racks, and he only has 2 dens. So yeah, we're still feeling pretty good, even though my play was suboptimal. Not the greatest. This raider is going to go back in just to double check if there's anything fancy going on, while these raiders over here confirm the existence of a third base, so now I'm feeling a little bit better. This raider tries to target down the weak workers, which I do get 2 of, and then it dies, but that's okay. I think that's a good trade for me. Especially because as the game goes on, just raiders get less and less effective as armies get bigger and bigger, so if you can find, if you can sack it for 2 workers, I think that's good. Even sacking it just for the scout is actually pretty good as well. I do lose another raider over here, it seems like. I lost 5 so far. Not ideal. Yeah, I gotta say my raider control wasn't the best in this map. So this is a bit of a choke that I kind of try to abuse a little bit. But unfortunately, I don't do that quite in time. But the archers are here, and that means Glaba has to run away. Cool, and then Glaba does his usual thing of going for more den of 3 bases. So, and I go for an advanced workshop just to be safe against dragons, because that's something also that Glaba also likes to do. Well, I was gonna go for a 7th den, so that is a bit unusual. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. So that is a lot of dens. Generally, people go off of 3 bases into 6 dens. 6 dens, or sometimes even 5 dens, or if you're gonna be greedy, even 4 or something like that. But yeah, and this is also a poor fight over here because not exactly the best unit control out of me. My kiting wasn't very clean, and also my raiders were already preoccupied on this side, so they weren't able to do that initial little bit of damage. And then I do get trapped because of this doodad here, and that gives Glaba so much surface area. So this fight actually goes really poorly for me. I think if this is an open space and I'm able to kite back like normally continually, this fight goes a lot better for me. But because of this doodad, so this is, I guess, just me not being familiar with the map enough. I just my units kind of like derp out. I lost 3 archers for free, basically 4 archers it looks like, and there's more archers being surrounded. So this is bad unit positioning out of me. I think if I just go like instead of fighting in this way, I just go around and fight this way and kite back this way, then it's less likely that I'm gonna get some of my units trapped. And even if I were to get back into a corner, if I go this way or something, or if he does some sort of surround, it's better if I have like less surface area. Whereas this sort of doodad thing allows my units to get have a lot of surface area, which is good for the wolf player, the beast player. So this is actually a horrendous fight for me. So not very good. But at the same time, we have a 4th base, so that's pretty good. I have this advanced workshop as well to be safe. So this is just my macro just kicking in, and I have more workers by 13, which is a lot. And like I said, units getting surrounded, tons of surface area for the beast player, and this is not a good fight, but shouldn't matter too much, as I am ahead in a pretty significant way. And yeah, here I should have did a little bit better job target firing. I do a little target firing right now, but I definitely could have done better. And not quite kiting at the end over here as well. So not exactly the best. I do go for an airship because I know with this amount of Wolf Snake, it's very unlikely that you went for a fortress at the same time and dragons. So I'm gonna go for an airship rather than a ballista and do some harassment into the main probably. So Glaba does have a sizable army, especially because he went for the 7 7 den style. So that means he's gonna have a really good Wolf Snake army in the middle, in the mid game stages of the game. But my SimCity is pretty good. I guess I would prefer to have a building here as well, and hopefully wall this up a little bit better. I think this castle actually probably should be a little bit higher, so it's easier to wall. But yeah, so this is some good SimCity, and then my workers doing the hold position thing and also saving that worker, which is good. This is going to go into the main base at the same time. So a little bit of a mistake out of me, out of SimCity-wise. I think this house should be 1 hex higher, and this house should be 1 hex higher as well, so I can repair this house from the inside. Small mistake, but it can end up mattering in some games, so yeah, just a mistake. Yeah, this should be higher. And then this fight doesn't go too well because I have this good SimCity and I have a bit of a counterattack over here and a drop into the main at the same time. So he kind of donated back the poor fight so that I had over here back to me after this poor fight that he had over here. So I tried to target down the Snake Charmer, which I'm able to get, but Glaba, seeing that's going to go down, does construct a new one. So good heads up play out of Glaba, going for that immediately when I start targeting it. And then I know by now his units should be back, so I try to pick up and leave, but I leave, walk right into some snakes. Not good at all, but I am taking a pretty good fight over here. So this is just free damage that I really shouldn't have taken onto these onto this airship. But yeah, I do have a 4th base while this is going on, and Glaba does not, so the longer this goes on, better for me. And I'm also going for upgrades and going for mages, so tech advantage is definitely going on my side. So the only way I can really throw this if I be too aggressive with my units, which I kind of am. I lost a big chunk of my army pretty much for free without getting too much of his army, so that's obviously not good. So it can be a little bit scary if he goes for a big counterattack. I'm not quite prepared to help. Like, this is a small amount of units, but it can definitely be overwhelmed if I don't control it properly. But Glaba opts to be a little bit more defensive, probably because I have this airship, dropship going on still. No armor. Yeah, so I decided to go for armor because I saw this for attack because I saw this werewolf den. Maybe it's better to actually go for armor because of the number of snakes, but I'm thinking, hey, I got these mages on the way, and therefore I can probably deal with the wolf snake pretty well. The bigger threat is probably going to be the werewolf, which is why I'm going for the attack upgrade rather than armor. So that's my thought process at least. And then these soldiers still doing a little bit of damage. This airship really shouldn't be. Makes sense, yes. Glad that makes sense. Yeah, so this airship shouldn't be too. This hurt. Definitely a mistake because I just ran over it or flew over it. Glaba is playing really defensive. I don't think he knows that I have this base. Maybe he just didn't see it. Let's check. No, he did see it, so I'm not quite sure why he's going for these world showers. I guess it's because my dropship is doing a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm even going for this castle on this side as well. So this is probably really greedy. I don't think I should be getting this, honestly. Yeah, I honestly think this is just a mistake. Probably shouldn't have gotten that. Probably should have just went for like more defensive towers or something like that. Anything else over the space. Glaba goes for an attack over here, and like I said, this is gonna be a mistake with my building placement, so this house can't be repaired from the inside. But I do have my army in a good place. So I'm kind of baiting. So okay, so here's my game plan here. I come in with both airships at once. I was hoping that Glaba would react to this part and like kind of like hold position around his tower so that it lines up nicely for my mages to fireball, but he just runs them away. So yeah, good target fire out of Glaba to target down that airship. But yeah, GG is called. I'm too far ahead. He knows I have a 4th base. He probably doesn't know this, but Yeah, there's not much to deal with this. He did go for a fortress, but didn't go for a lair quite yet, so there's nothing to deal with this airship other than the towers, and yeah. So a clean win out of me. Excellent preparation to find that this, or figure out that this proxy wolf den, or sorry, wolf gat thing would likely happen. I scout it, and then I just take it from there. So not the best raider micro, not the best fight over here either. But other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with my play. I guess this is a bit of a mistake as well. The airship taking too much damage is a mistake as well. But yeah, other than that, not bad. It's a win. We take a win. It's on to game 2. Game 2, game 2. On Ravaged. Okay, so going into game 2, he cheesed me, and so, okay, so here's where the mind game starts to come in. He cheesed me last game, therefore, there's a good chance he won't cheese me this game, because I really shut it down really cleanly in game 1 with the scout as well. So, in my mind, I'm thinking there's a good chance he's going to play really greedy, and therefore this is a perfect opportunity for me to cheese him back. So, that was the game plan coming into it after how game 1 went. So my plan is I'm going to do this build where I go for a den, 1 wolf's den, and then go for a tower rush. If this doesn't go well, I can just not do a tower rush. So, okay, so the worker comes in. This is, I guess, a little bit of instructional thing. I know Glaba isn't exactly the most... what's the word? How do I put this nicely? Like, he doesn't like optimize everything, such as people such as Destroy Call or Weird Rat or like Itano. Like, those people definitely always put their worker at the corner of the base of the buildings and make sure that you have that extra split second of seeing my worker, right? If I scout. Maybe Glava does that, but he definitely isn't doing that right now. So right now, if you look at Glava's vision, like if he had this worker over here, he would have seen this. So me, I just stay in the corner of the vision. Oops. Over here, and essentially, I want to see if what building goes down essentially as the first building over here for Glava. Glava is gonna go for a quick, what's it called? Quick castle. So I kept this in right at the place where I was able to see where this what this building would be. So the work was chilling there, but by now I know there's no building. So I'm coming in at the time where he would normally get a castle to check the castle timing, and doing it obviously in the corner. And excellent, I see it. I'm thinking excellent, time to cheese. Tower goes up immediately, and this is out of vision, of course. Look at that. This would even be out of vision if the worker was like here, I believe. Maybe if it's like here, then it's not. But yeah, so excellent. We get the read, we get the scout, and we're gonna cheese. And hopefully it goes well. Another advantage of this tower placement is that you can block it off completely with another building at the top. So yeah, and I do bring a second worker just in case. And so if he built that den on this side, he would probably see this, but I'm okay with that. By now, it's fine. I have enough gold to completely wall this off, and the tower is pretty much done, so that's fine for me. And I wait for this wolf a little bit, just because I don't want to tip him off too early, but he knows now. I try to block off this ramp. Doesn't work on this side, but I do get it on the top over here. Excellent, and that means this is going to go down probably. So I'm going to have more wolves on him, and I also have the tower as backup. Therefore, this wolf's den should go down. He does have 3 workers over here, which means that could potentially be a little bit dangerous if I'm not too good with my micro. So like here, I should probably be targeting down 1 at a time instead of splitting my damage, which means that's a mistake, and I almost lose this wolf as a result. So definitely a mistake. And then basically this forces him to go into a workshop. And by now I'm satisfied with the amount of damage I'm doing. gonna go for a base and also a fortress at the same time. So we're just chilling. I'm just gonna cancel this at the last second, of course. Hopefully he finishes that. I believe he actually does finish it. Yep. But that is actually not in range to defend this den, so he will be able to defend his house, but this den is forfeit, and we're in an excellent position off of this opening early game. I do try to go into scouts, but he has this wall, and he also had that wolf there, so unfortunately I'm not able to get a scout. But I'm pretty satisfied. Base on the way, fortress on the way, we're good. And yeah, so my decision to go for a fortress, instead of going for like a bird or something like that to scout into the main, why not go for some dragons to do some scouting and also some damage at the same time. And a lot of the times people, when they do go against this sort of watchtower or tower rush, they go for some sort of workshop into slow expand. Sometimes they do go for workshop into advanced workshop for like cat drops and stuff, but I find that's really unlikely. So I think there's a good chance that my dragons will be able to do a little bit of damage. So if you look at the workers, I'm probably going to be even-ish. Yep, exactly. Look at me. Yeah, so even though I'm even, I'm going to have more income because I'm mining off 2 bases, and I'm probably going to get even a better economic state because of the harassment I'm going to be able to do. Interesting that he goes for 2 Gatling guns instead of immediately going for a catapult. So that, I guess from Glau's point of view, he wants to really like contest the ground army first and then go for a slower expand. I'm not exactly sure if that is the best idea. I think it's kind of hard to tell because you don't know how many units that I have. And then me just making sure I want to make sure nothing really sneaks out without me knowing it. So I have these wolves over here. Not placed ideally right now because something can still sneak out. But yeah. I'm not too worried about scouting. I just want to deny this natural for as long as I can because I'm going to get that additional scouting with the dragons. And I'm just macroing up from here. So pretty nice contain. I'm fixing my holes in vision. I probably should fix this a little bit, move everything down a little bit. He's finally going to go for the catapult. A little bit slow out of me to pull these wolves back, but I eventually do manage to put it closer to the watchtower, and I think that's the perfect time for me to try to go up, but unfortunately Glava was moving down his catapult at the same time, so unable to get the scout there. But now, catapult does come. My first dragon is on the way. I try to do a little bit of harassment. I'm trying to bait his wolves into the tower so I can take a better fight while the tower is still up. So you're going to see that me, like, I'm going to attack a little bit and then try to come back, that sort of thing. But yeah, essentially I'm buying time for a better economy at the moment. Poor target fire out of me. I probably should have target fired down these wolves. I think I could have got maybe 2 of them. But the first dragon is out, and that's going to do a lot of damage. Lava is just going to go across the map and try to do some damage. I see the move out, and I'm I see this alone, and I think, okay, yeah, that's a very good. It was moving this way, so I know he's probably going for a move out. I see the move out. Just going to try to buy as much time as possible. He probably doesn't have anything at home for this dragon, and then my response to that is just going to be another den and just try to defend. So as long as he doesn't kill me with this push, I should be good. Another den, and also this is a dragon in the sky, while this dragon does some damage into the main base. So yeah, this dragon is going to do as much damage as possible. These wolves are going to try to buy as much time as possible. And I decide that's too big of an army. I'm going to try to pick off reinforcements, but they aren't any. Right, and then I guess I say, okay, now he's gone too far. I need to have my units back to defend. And the idea was send this back home, or back to the natural just to check, and then everything else defends at home. This dragon is going nowhere, even though it should be coming back home to defend. This dragon is still targeting down workers. Good hold position out of me, and we defend. Probably should have had a little bit better worker micro here, though. Looks like I lost 2-3 workers. Not ideal. 2-3 workers, and also letting him into the base. Not good. And the dragon over here does fall as well. Nope, I actually pulled it back. I lied. But yeah, no natural for Glava, and his army is gone, so we win the game. GG. Cool. Alright. Pretty good win, I think, out of for me against Glava. We take that. I'm going to quickly grab some water and I'll be right back. Alright. We're back. So week 4 against Haffy. So this was probably, I guess the big match, quote unquote, the one that I prepared the most for. So let's talk a little bit about Haffy. So from my talks with him when he first joined the game, I knew that he was a player. So like some of the things are really obvious, like just by looking at his replays. He likes to play Wolf Snake. He's really good. That sort of thing, right? And then also stuff like he likes to go this like 4 to 6 dens off of like on 3 bases, maybe take a 4th, and then go into a handful of workshops to go for a nice backbone catapults against some sort of like 6 tracks or something like that. So the catapults are out in time to defend that. And then he likes to close things out a lot with a big dragon switch at the end, snipe down all your advanced workshops, win the game from there, that sort of thing. So that's something that pretty much everyone could know, I think. Like if you just look at some of his replays. But for me, just talking to Haffy and like getting his the way he thinks about the game, I think like when he first joined, there were some things that I gleaned off of that where he talked about, hey, I was like, hey, why don't you try the FE210, and he's like, I don't really want that because maybe you just die straight up to like proxy 2 racks radio or something like that. So I think Haffy is a player who doesn't like to take risks, and because of that, he tends to play very standard and very one style. But he's really good at it, of course. So credit is due where credit is due. But that is just something that I observed, and therefore I thought, hey, maybe I can do something with that. Maybe abuse a little bit of that aspect of his gameplay. And then I also really saw that he really liked um, the wolf snake part in the mid game, early mid game. So I thought, hey, maybe I can do something about that as well, and hopefully we can turn that into a win. Some other things I noticed was that he likes to over defend in some certain situations. Like for example, if I went if you go for dragons, he doesn't really want to. He's all right with going like double advanced workshops and being extra safe against them. Yeah, and he likes to be really active on the map. So those are some of the things that I thought. So one thing that stuck out to me is that there was a very good chance that he would have one specific build or one specific playstyle that he practiced, and it's very unlikely that he's gonna change that in the middle of the map. So I came in with the understanding or the expectation that whatever he played game 1, I'm probably sure he's probably gonna do something very similar or like some slight variation in game 2 and 3, any of the future games. So that's something that I expected for sure. Unless like I do something crazy or drastic or anything like that. So yeah, so my preparation on this map, Hafi is a newer player and he might not have seen like all the videos that I on for like the Praise Hearthstone tournament, for example. So you might not know about the werewolf cheese where you pop a werewolf into the main base here on Ravaged. So that was my thought process, and I also thought, hey, werewolves are just straight up good against wolf snake. So my build is, so my plan was, okay, I want to do a werewolf thing, right? That was the initial thought. I want to do werewolves, werewolf smash, good against wolf snake. And I thought, okay, I can do that werewolf thing where I go into the base, the main base. That was like the next process, and I'm like, wait a second, I feel like Happy is a good enough player that he would know something is up if I don't have a third base, not enough units, and then go for like I'm just playing really sus. He would sniff something out for sure. So I'm like, hey, I just can't do like the one bait or the one racks into the werewolf cheese, which hits a lot faster, but also is a little bit more easy to sniff, right? So I decided on going for a 2 racks off of 2 bases. Hopefully my raiders do enough damage to keep Happy on his own side of the map, and then go for that werewolf cheese into the main. So that's the game plan. That was my thought process. I practiced it a couple of times against Weird Rat, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling okay, let's go for it. That was the plan that I came up with, and we'll see how it goes. Spoiler alert, it kind of goes well, it kind of doesn't. In some ways it does, some ways it doesn't. And then one other thing is I had actually prepared a different build. So I had prepared the it's gonna show up in game 2. So I guess we'll talk about that later when it gets to there. But I had actually prepared this with Weird Rat, but Weird Rat actually used it already against Happy, so he's already seen it. A little bit of leaked preparation, unfortunately. But yeah, those were the 2 builds that I was really expecting or really thinking about. Yeah, we'll talk about the second build when we get to game 2 and 3, which is where I take them out. But yeah, so we start with the build that looks a little bit more standard. It's going to be a standard 2 racks or 2 raider expand, except with a faster house. So instead of a 9 house, it's going to be 8 house. So instead of 9 house 10 racks, it's going to be 8 house 9 racks. A little bit more safer, a little bit less economic, a little bit more aggressive. Ivy is going to go for a 2-den, which, by the way, I don't think is actually that great of a build against any Drax openings. I think it's okay against... I think it's okay, but I don't think it's that great against Drax openings. Yeah. He dodges my first raider, which is fine, and I go for a natural. I see... So this is a very suspicious 2 wolf timing, in the sense that these kind of like showed up at the same time. So I'm thinking maybe it's a 2-den. I'm not exactly sure for sure. Or maybe because maybe he goes for a 1-den, just keeps the wolves home. But then even then, it's kind of a little bit weird. And then I do see this a little bit late on my minimap because I'm a little bit busy microing this, and this wolf gets in. So this is already really frustrating. Generally, I miss the flash. I don't even get the hit. Generally, you also want to have like if you see this, you want to like block them from going in just because it's a little bit annoying. They can just do the thing where they're just like all the way around in your main base, and you can never really get rid of it. Unless you keep one raider home and chase it down. And even then, it's just really annoying to deal with. So that's just something to be, that's just really annoying. So really frustrating for that to happen. And even then, I just mess up a little bit here. So not the best start. This raider almost goes down, which is really bad. I took way too much damage against two wolves here. So this is already a poor start. This wolf comes in. This raider takes way too much damage, which is not good. I do get 2 wolves for it, but like, I guess if I keep this alive, it's fine. But this is definitely a huge target at the moment. My micro isn't the greatest at the same time, so not feeling too good of a start actually. But Happy decides to get out of my base with that wolf, and I'm like, cool, thanks. I really appreciate it. And then he's like goes in, and I'm like, and I think I missed this, and I'm so frustrated once again. I'm like, why? This was just really bad out of me. So the wolf is back in to the main base. Really frustrating. But yeah. Other than that, it's just a standard two-den defense. He does cut at 28, I believe. Yep, exactly. And he's going to go for a third base and then also 2 additional workers on top of that. So that's just the standard that he goes for. And so far, not too bad. I know that there's a wolf in here, which is why I have this rallied back. And even with like the poor micro that I did, I think this build is just matches up a little bit better than the 2-den. So yeah, I bring that one weak raider home to deal with this one wolf, while I keep the other two raiders on the side of the map just trying to do some damage, targeting down some wolves. This wolf gets into my main, but it's going to get quickly taken care of. I do a little cute blink over here to get this raider into the fight a little bit faster, and also go for this second Drax. I believe Happy does not see it. Yep, correct. And I have this worker. So this worker is the one that's going to go over here and take this third base. So this, first off, mistake out of Happy. Once he has map control, you always leave a wolf over here at the third base to check. And ideally, you want to see this Rax as well to confirm what, you know, is it a third base? Is it going to be a Rax, second Rax in this case? So not seeing this is a huge mistake out of Happy for sure. And not having a wolf over here, also another huge mistake. So not ideal for sure. This raider this worker is gonna go do the proxying, and watch this. This wolf is actually gonna see it like right over here. So we're busy at focusing on the raider wolf micro. I checked the third base if it's not there right now. He's really not doing anything. I think he sees this like 9 times out of 10, and it's just rip. There goes my game plan, but he doesn't. Huge sigh of relief. Let's go. Happy wasn't paying attention. Sometimes you just get lucky. So yeah, this wolf is just going to go over here. This worker is going to go over here. Two ships passing in the night, not knowing that they're next to each other. No, I see no third. So I'm obviously a little bit disappointed in not seeing a third. I think I would prefer if he went for a greedy third, and my build does a lot of damage, but that's okay. I'm probably gonna scout into the main in the near future. But yeah, so I purposely send this raider over here to clear that wolf that's almost always here. I should have done this a little bit earlier in hindsight. I should have done it with like this raider. So that he doesn't know that my third base is so delayed. Or maybe I even should have done it with these first 3 raiders, actually. But like, I feel like if I did it with these first 3 raiders, then he would have had another wolf there by then. So I probably should have done this by this raider at the minimum. So, mistake out of me for sure. But yeah, Happy is still chilling on 2 bases. And this wolf does get taken down eventually, which is good for me. Yep. And here goes the plan. This raider goes into scout because I haven't seen the third base, and I think, hey, something must be up. But nothing is up indeed. So yeah. I think a lot of the times in my mind, you kind of go for this third base off of like a 40 max supply. And then you go for additional, your third house after that. So that's why I'm thinking something is a little bit weird. Like, that's why I scouted into the main. That's why, when I saw no third, I'm a little bit weirded, like, confused. But at the same time, it's not like I see something and I'm gonna abandon this plan. Probably. Maybe I would if it's, like, early on, but maybe not. But other than that, we're just doing a little bit of radar micro over here. That attack wasn't the greatest out of me. That's an okay flashback. This is just sloppy out of Happy losing these 3 wolves. But I don't think I get all of them. Maybe I let one of them survive, yeah. This one is risky to flash into. But I do get it, actually. No, I don't. Wow, really bad out of me. And then now I'm out of flashes, so I really shouldn't be attacking here. Ooh, this is actually really bad Marauder control out of me. Do I lose all of these? I really should, honestly. Do I lose a... Wow, okay. So, that Raider control was pretty poor out of me. I think I really deserve to lose like these 5, honestly. And then it's game over by then. But, yeah, that was just really poor out of me. Should not have fought with without flashes. And then I wasted a lot of flashes trying to snipe that that third wolf out of the 3, and then I didn't even get it. So really bad. And then yeah, that's just really not acceptable. And then this has been done for a little bit, but I'm too busy microing trying to save my raiders, and this den is delayed probably by like 10 seconds, which is not good. I'm gonna go for it now, but like that's delayed for maybe like 5 to 10 seconds. Obviously not good. A little bit of pause here, and then Happy decides, after seeing the amount of raiders, that I am probably still on 2 bases, and is gonna go for dens 3 and 4, which is the correct call in my opinion. But I would also like to see, like, look at that. After pushing these raiders back, that was a perfect opportunity for Happy to, split off some wolves, check the third base, try to sneak into the main, that sort of thing. So I think Happy, this is a mistake out of Happy for sure. Not doing diligent enough with the scouting. I guess in some ways he's like, oh, I really want all these wolves at home to defend. Yes, but you can kind of make up for that just by being a little bit passive with the wolves, right? You can just keep them here, force the raiders to come in, and then use your workers at the same time while getting a scout at the same time. So I'm really paranoid about Happy knowing something is off, which is why I have yet another raider here just trying to get rid of that inevitable wolf, but the wolf isn't there. So yeah, I check the third base again, nothing here. So by now, I'm thinking something is really, really off, right? He's not scouting my third base. He doesn't have a third base of his own. I should probably scout into the main. So this is actually a really bad idea because I'm going for a proxy of my own, and if this gets scouted, it's game over for me. And honestly, no matter what I scout, I'm probably not gonna abandon my plan this late, right? So I'm gonna go for a scout into the main base of Happy here with a raider soon, but that is actually probably a mistake. I guess it kind of does sell that I'm playing normal because I'm sacrificing a raider for a scout, but like in some ways that going for that scout is actually a mistake because it's just risky for this getting scouted, and also it's not like I'm gonna do something with the scout, right? So here's that scout I was talking about, and then here comes mistake number 2. So I see these 2 wolves, and I'm like, I better flash the other way to get the scout up. I'm in the scouting mindset, and then I mess up my scouts, right? Or my flash. And then I go up to the top over here, right? And my raider gets trapped. But like, if I lose it here, that's fine, honestly. But I'm trying to get this raider in to do the scouting because my mindset is, oh, I need a scout. But guess what happens? What does Happy see? Uh-oh. What is this house doing here? Good morning, or good afternoon, consciously. Depending on where you are. I guess it's good morning for you. It's like evening for me. Yeah, so this is just an absolute really bad scout out of me. Like, it's 8 a.m. for you, good morning for you. It is like 10 for me, 10 p.m. But yeah, this scout, like I was saying, is obviously a really, really bad mistake. So, like, there's no reason for me to scout. It just makes it more likely that this is going to be scouted by Happy. And also, it's not like if I do get a scout, that's going to change something. So, at least I don't lose any of the other raiders at the front. So that is something I can be happy with at least. But yeah, so like I was saying, I have these raiders going all over the place because I'm thinking, like, why doesn't he have wolves on the map? Is something going on? Is something being proxied? Which is why I was scouting all around. And I still have these raiders over here to deny the scouting at my third base, which I'm not going to get. So this is done, and look, I have the money for it. I'm too busy microing to actually queue it up. Really poor out of me. What is this? Like 10 seconds? Make that 15 seconds. Yes, I'm busy microing, but that is no excuse. It literally takes half a second for this to happen. What is this? 20 seconds, and finally it comes up. So, huge mistake number 2. Like, maybe number 3 even. So, yeah, okay, let's talk about all the things that I've done wrong this game. So first off, the initial fight with the raiders, I took too much damage against 2 wolves in the middle of the map. Really bad. Let the wolf in, really bad. It goes out and they let the wolf back in again, really bad. And then the worker gets scouted, really bad. And then I flash in so that he scouts this, also really bad. This werewolf's den was delayed, also again really bad. And then this was even delayed like 15, 25 seconds, 20 seconds, again from this from the first werewolf starting. So this is really not clean play out of me, I think. Yeah. And then also I played my raider control was really bad over here as well at the same time. Not at the same time, but like previously when he had lost the three, or he had three wolves not hotkeyed and he didn't pull them back. I wasted flashes trying to get them all and then didn't actually get the last one. And then it was just really dangerous. Really harsh on yourself. Raider control bad. Show units lost. Okay, units lost shows that, but like honestly, just bad control. Like if you go over the Twitch replay, you'll see all the things that I was talking about. But yeah, so far, so like I think I won. Like I had a good advantage from like a mind game sort of thing, but the execution was really poor compared to what I could have done. That like what I could have done with the build. I think like build wise, I completely destroyed Happy. I think like mind games wise, I win. Like no question, in my opinion. This is me being like honest, but like execution wise, I think my execution was really poor. But yeah, anyways, so this is rallied into the main. Later on, you're gonna see that that werewolf is gonna go on a bit of an adventure, and I'm just trying to you know just get as much value as I can out of with these raiders. So after that initial fiasco, I think the raider control is okay. A little bit risky to go in here. Obviously, you want to put the healthy raiders at the front, and then I'm finally gonna go for a third mace after that as well. So third base soon. After the second werewolf. So this werewolf comes in. I'm still trying to, you know, micro this battle. Happy, and during this has, I don't know if maybe he has this hotkeyed. Like maybe that's a high level move where he already has this pre-hotkeyed and he can just like hotkey, I don't know, 6 or something, and then right click onto the mine over here. But there's a very good chance he was actually just looking over here, and that means he probably would have seen this. But anyways, this werewolf is gonna follow these workers all the way over here instead of going into the main mirror line and smashing. So that's not good. Because I'm busy like fighting over here, losing another raider, but that's okay, I guess. I probably shouldn't be fighting. I should probably pull the workers over here. Yeah, so that's not a good fight. There's a lot of snakes over here, so I have to. So I'm a little late with this worker pull, which means I lost what, like I think I lost like 6, no, maybe 5 raiders from there. Yeah, that's right. And I also lost two workers as well. So poor fight over here. I should have recognized that there's too many snakes and escaped immediately and focused on fighting with this werewolf instead. But I wasn't able to do that. So bad prioritizing out of me. And then, which means that my werewolf doesn't do enough damage. It's had so like a huge opportunity to do damage, but instead it's just gonna follow all the workers into the third base. Look at this, and now Happy is has the presence of mind to look at it, and therefore this werewolf has done nothing except a little bit of delay mining. That's not good enough. That is definitely not good enough. But I am able to, you know, use that opportunity. I know that he's probably going to bring his entire army back, which means I take a third base. My second werewolf does go in and does a little bit more better than my first werewolf. Gets a smash onto all of these units. And this, I should have put this in a little bit of a better position. If I put it like here, there's less surface area, but here, and you get a little bit extra surface area here. So not good at all. And then I'm trying to do a little bit more damage, bringing this while he's busy trying to deal with the werewolf in the main. Or at least that's my thought process. Here, I should have kept this werewolf right over here. Tuck it into the corner, maybe here even. And just play really defensive. Instead, I get surrounded in the middle. So that is really bad as well. So very poor werewolf control. So the first werewolf got 0 kills. The second werewolf got 1 kill, I believe. 2 kills. Maybe we'll get like a third over here. Yeah, that's 3 kills. That is not enough. Okay, he gets 4. Okay, gets 5. Okay, gets 6. Yeah, but that's still not enough, honestly. So the idea with these werewolves is you do this surprise damage, and then also you force your opponent to take really bad fights against it by tucking yourself into a corner, limiting the surface area. But yeah, just really bad uh, werewolf control for sure. And then I am taking a third base delayed, of course. With these raiders, I'm going to target down some workers, which is good. I think I got like 4 or so workers here. Looks like 7 in total, so 4 sounds about right. Maybe 5. And then after the second one, or the second werewolf goes down, I decide to rally it not into the main, but just into here, into the fight directly. So yeah, if we look at the units lost, it's pretty even, but yeah, that is not ideal for me. The werewolves aren't doing as much as they should. Yes, they're a bit of a backbone for sure, but I've lost basically all my raiders at the same time. So I've lost my map control essentially, and I'm back to like just playing a standard game from here. And I'm expecting to lose this pretty much instantly as well. One thing interesting to note is that once he scouted this, Haffy, he didn't really deal with it in the best way. So if I'm playing against Weird Rat, if I'm playing against AC, I think they're smart enough to, or more experienced enough to, when they see this, they can just be like, hey, I'll just build a tower on the top, and what can you do? Nothing. Or like, continue building the workshop and just catapult here. Maybe even like wall this off, and then this is just dead. But Haffy hasn't seen this build before, and apparently he told me that, or he told a stream or something like that. He was like, yeah, my brain kind of just froze when I saw this, and I guess that's understandable. So this is sort of the things that I aim to exploit against some of the newer players, like Haffy, for example. But yeah, so this should be dead by now. If he had just built a tower at the top right over here, you might not be able to get these two. They might be a little bit out of range. I think it should be, but you should be able to get these two for free. No, with a tower. If you do get a catapult, you should be able to get all of them. So definitely a mistake out of Haffy here. This is, if he gets that down, then I'm probably just a little bit behind, just straight up in a straight up macro game, and I lose. Haffy explained that he missed it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he explained that he missed it earlier on when he saw this house in the top, like out of the corner of his vision. When I double flashed the raider into scout, even though I didn't need to scout, and then I accidentally led the wolves into this side. He said he just completely missed it, but I think he saw this previously, right? Like before seeing it right now. So. Yeah. And then these werewolves are getting like 3 or 4 kills, but that's really not enough for a werewolf. That one gets 5, but you ideally want your werewolves to stay alive, and so I'm forced to bring my small meager army over here because I really want to save this, because if I lose this, that's a lot of resources going down, right? I'm going to get supply blocked, I'm going to lose my werewolves then, and it's going to be pretty much irrecoverable. This is extremely risky for me to try to save this, but I think it's the best play that I can make. It really shouldn't work either, like, because if he just attacks it from the high ground with like catapults or a tower, there's just no way for me to save it, right? But yeah, so this is definitely a risky play. I try to get that snake, but unfortunately don't get it. So definitely unfortunate. Bit of a mistake. But yeah, I do have a third base finally, and I am going up to 4 racks, so this is my contingency plan. Make that 5 racks. Good smash over here, and I have the raiders coming eventually. I do lose another raider essentially for free, which is not good. But yeah, I really need to keep this alive for me to have any sort of hope in the game. Otherwise, I think I'm just too far behind. So hopefully I keep that alive, is basically what I'm thinking. And then I just lose 2 archers for free. I think I target down some snakes or something before I go, though. And then these two the flashes out of these 2 raiders were unnecessary there. I do get an extra snake over there with the target fire. I love this distraction you do here. Yeah, so this is essentially just buying some time for this. So yeah, this is essentially if I lose this, I basically lose the game. I'm too far behind. So even though I'm sacrificing some units here, I think it's worth it uh, to save the den. And obviously my control isn't the greatest here. But I'm still making more werewolves. This is still alive. I am supply block because I did lose a supply a house. Not the best. Suiciding units to get werewolves out. Exactly. And Haffy now finally decides to go for the workshops again. I think he should have done this a long time ago, but oh well. And now that the units are gone here, I know he's going to go to attack this, so I bring my units back in. This werewolf is in a little bit of a better position. It could be, you know, a little bit further back, so there's less surface area. You can probably have it so that there's only 4 wolves attacking at any given time, but 5 wolves can attack here. So, mistake for sure. And I lose that raider essentially for free. But yeah, this is just buying time for more and more werewolves to come out. And these werewolves are dying instantly as soon as, not instantly, but they're basically getting 1 smash off and then dying. So obviously that's not good. You really want to be able to save these werewolves, have them regenerate a little bit of health and do some more damage. So that's my plan with the Advanced Workshop here. I am also going for a 4th base, so this is also pretty risky, right? Because this potentially loses the game as well. If I'm okay, like if this gets knocked out, right? This is a major point of contention. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. He does have Javi does have a bird that's just scouting around. What is this worker doing? Is this the one that stakes the space without me noticing it? Maybe. Or maybe that was just the bird rally. Yeah, it looks like it was the bird rally by mistake. So a lot of mistakes from both players, I guess, this game. So now we're at a bit of a I guess lull. So right now, instead of going for like Gatling guns, once again, Haffy could have just went for a catapult and just shut this down. Like easy win. Did you see the worker here with the raider? I don't think so. I don't remember seeing it, so I don't think so. Yeah. And then later, I just completely missed this, by the way, so not good. And then, yeah, I'm going for this airship. And this is basically, my thought with the airship is I want to keep these werewolves alive and have them, instead of just dying after using 1 smash, I want to keep them alive and have them regenerate health, get more value out of them. So that's the plan, at least with the airship. And I can, like, drop on top of the army, get a huge smash in the middle of them. That's the plan. So ideally, this raider, I don't need it here. I want it to be scouting the different bases. My soldier does see this 4th base attempt, so that is good. Smash only gets 2 wolves, not good. Probably should have cancelled that smash. Good spread out of Haffy here, but that is a pretty good smash for me. Unfortunately, it does lie. So this is what I'm talking about with werewolves not getting enough value, right? Gets 1 smash, good smash, okay. If you pick it up with an airship, that's great. If you don't, it's dead. So, yeah. So I really didn't get the werewolf snowball going as I really should have. But, I think this barely doesn't have another smash. I think maybe it was like a second or 2 off. But yeah, I'm getting pushed back, but another werewolf comes to save the day. Gets a pretty decent smash. And also, this airship, which I already had, I didn't rally across the map. Another mistake. Actually, I think what happened was that I had this rallied onto a werewolf over here, but that werewolf died, so the rally point was reset. So, mistake out of me again. So yeah, I'm back into a corner. Yeah, so not the best fight for sure. And then here, if he's being too conservative with his wolves. If he just A moves here, all these archers die. So yeah, mistake out of him as well. I do get a 4th base up. And then once I saw this being cancelled, I should really be scouting for another potential base that he's going for. Like, he's gonna go for this fourth base, which I never see until so far later on. I don't get why people rally something on a unit. Yeah, usually don't do that as well. I know Reedrat likes to do it actually, where, so for me, I usually rally units, like, I usually rally, dragons onto themselves, because dragons, they kind of like, go as a group, and they, I like to do that, where I rally all the dragons to a specific dragon, and that works for me. But then other than that, it's kind of hard, because if you lose the unit, the rally points are reset and stuff like that. So yeah, I know Weird Rat does it. I know some other people do it, but I don't know exactly who. Yeah. Here's a bit of a counterattack out of Haffy. He's gonna see that I have a fourth base, so he's probably gonna feel a little bit bummed about that. I think I finally moved the airship. Yeah, I finally got the airship coming. Pick it up, and then I'm gonna drop on top. Let's try to smash. So yeah, this is what I really wanted to be doing. Getting a lot of value with the smashes, eventually a little bit by little. Unfortunately, I don't see this. And then upgrades coming up from Haffy. For me, I'm just chilling. Looks like I didn't rally these two as well. Oh, that's because, oh my goodness, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, look, yeah, so that's not good, obviously. I probably should have smashed that instead of canceling it. It's a mistake. Unfortunately, unable to pick that off. He has a ballista airship to try to contend with my airship. And he also had this fourth base, which I am not aware of, unfortunately. He mines out of his main, and so this worker transfer, it's kind of game over. Your fourth is running long enough airship, werewolf combo. Yeah, at this point, I think I've I've gotten a little bit too much value, and I think I've gotten to the point where I'm in a pretty good, like, this is also a really big pickoff. Getting the airship with the ballista inside is actually pretty good, which means my airship is no longer in danger, even though I already lost it, I think. No, it's over here. So yeah, at this point it's pretty good, and I've been kiting well enough. So some of these archers have a lot of kills, like 3, I saw 8, I saw 6, somewhere. Yeah. So these archers has been putting in a lot of work with werewolves and soldiers just a tank. But I'm really, yeah, so there's a lot of mistakes that I made for sure. This goes in, so this worker transfer I do see, and I smash it on purpose, but somehow in my mind it doesn't make sense that, or doesn't like click that he has this base, so definitely a mistake. Over here, not exactly the most coordinated fight, but coming with another werewolf, try to do a smash, but that's a little bit out of range. I have this random tower in the middle because I don't exactly know why. But yeah, at this point I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going into some catapults as well. This is a poorly advised attack. I'm gonna try to take down this tower, but good hold position, good reaction out of Haffy. And these soldiers are just doing nothing. I also somehow have a worker here, so I think I tell it to like repair, and then just lose it. 4 micro. I think maybe it was this worker. But yeah, eventually I do get the tower down and start killing some more. Yeah. I think we can speed it up from here, not much to say after that. I have a tower in the middle of the map, I don't know why. Yes. I just built it. So initially this fight doesn't go well, but I try to do my best to target down some units at the end. And then eventually I see this when I'm trying to expand over here, and these catapults get like 20 kills. Yeah, 16 kills. And then now he basically has no workers, no mining. And then we win from there. GG. I think Haffy could have gone on a few catas. Yes, I agree. could have gone for a few Ketas. And I also didn't rally these rolls, apparently. So yeah, a lot of mistakes for sure. Not the cleanest game execution-wise, but I do think I did get the better end of the mind games, the build order fight. So you didn't really need them anymore. It's okay. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I'm proud of I guess the idea behind the build and the preparation, but the execution was not the best. So a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, and then after this game, even though I won, I felt really bad. I felt like, oh shoot, I completely, like, this should have been a free win, but like, I threw so many times, but somehow I still survived. I still won, so it was not feeling really good. But a win is a win. Move on to game two. Game two on Xenos. Xenos. Okay, so this is where I pulled out the other build that I prepared. So the build is basically you do a standard 1 racks expand, except you don't do the expand part. So you go 1 racks, so 9 house, 10 racks, and then just go for another 10 racks. So I had toyed with this build, and I had decided in my games against Weirrat that probably the best build is go for 5 raiders really quickly. Hope that they over defend, and also you still get some damage done early on. With the extra 2 raiders that you get when you normally should have 3, you have 5 raiders. So that's really big, especially in the early game, especially with good micro. So that was the plan: get 5 raiders and then expand at 20 out of 20. And then if you can also, it's also pretty flexible in the sense that you can also just go for a house and continue building raiders. I do that in game 3, by the way. But yeah, the expectation is you try to force out a lot of defense with the 5 raiders. You keep them on their side of the map. You go for expansion of your own, and you're just chilling. You don't want to lose the raiders at all. That's the plan. This is the build that I prepared with Weirrat against for Haffy, but unfortunately, Weirrat actually played this against Haffy on ranked, I believe, and he knows about the build. So, darn it. But I still decide to go for it. The reason I decided to go for it, actually, is that I saw his opening in game 1, and I saw that he was going for a 2-den. And then, like I said, knowing about some of his characteristics of how he plays, he's very likely to play one sort of game plan, game style, and just stick with it, through and through. Not really likely to go for something drastic or anything like that. Actually, one other thing I want to note is that back on Ravage, you saw that he purposely put holes in his main wall. So Ravage, the wall kind of looks like this, right? Somewhat. It's a ramp going down like this, and then imagine this is Ravaged, and then instead of putting it the den over here, he put it like 1 hex to the side. He purposely made a wall, right? So that there's room for the units to get through. So I was actually thinking of maybe doing like a tower rush, like the classic tower rush over here. Put a maybe a house over here, and maybe you do something with that. But from his building placement, I thought, okay, yeah, probably he knows about it. I'm not going to get the decline of surface area as I probably would like. So I decided against it and said, even though he knows about the build, I think the build is probably good enough. The 2-den or the 2 racks raider. So that's the plan. 9 house, 10 racks, 10 racks. So I'm expecting him to do the 2-den again, and he does go for it. And like I said, there's that building placement that I was talking about. And yeah, so hopefully this does enough damage to put me in a very good spot. This build basically, also a little bit about the inspiration behind this build. So in StarCraft 2, players lately have been going for a 2 racks, 3 raider opening into a command center So that's kind of like the meta these days in ZVT, TVZ. So I thought, hey, maybe we can do something similar in a real war game. Instead of just going for the 1 racks, maybe we go for 2 racks, but still go for a quick expansion and try to do some light harassment, put on some early pressure with the raiders. So that was, I guess, the inspiration behind the build. So yeah, we stop at 10 workers, we get 5 raiders. That's the build. Haffy does see it. Good on him. And is gonna... So in previous game, he went for... This is the good adaptation by Haffy. In previous game, he went for a castle at 28, but now because he was able to get that wolf in and see that it was a 2-rack, he's going to instead go for the house. So, very nice. Good stuff. And then the Raider Micro. The Raider Micro is okay. It's not amazing. Yeah, I took a bit too much damage. And then I work on this den. I think it's alright to work on this den. And look at how fast my castle is, by the way. And then the follow-up I decided to do was this fortress. I do this in game 3 as well, where I go for dragons, and I'm thinking he's probably going to go wolf snake. Dragon is pretty good against wolf snake as well. You can do some harassment, keep him on his side of the map, take the initiative, force him to build the 2 advanced workshop that he likes to do. That was the game plan anyways. Let me slow it down a little. Yeah, so these 5 raiders, they should never die. You should not lose them. I'm taking too much damage on this one because that was on this flank, and it was also being surrounded a little bit. Me going in over here is probably okay. And then, these fights are okay as well. This flash is a little bit ambitious, but I still think it's okay. That flash was okay because it gets a wolf. But now I need to be a little bit more careful. I'm missing a flash here. This raider is really bad, and unlike in other situations, I'm not reinforcing with the raiders in time because I went for this castle. So my raiders 6 and 7 are going to be really late compared to just playing standard or playing the standard 2-racks. Take a bit of free damage here, and by now I should be flashing away. Yeah, I take a bit too much damage over here. Be a little bit too greedy. And I missed the flash over here. Yeah, so with 2 of them I missed the flash. Quickly I flashed them the other way to hopefully save them. But basically by now, my map control is completely gone. Yes, I have 2 more raiders at home, but this is gonna look like a pretty easy 3rd base for Haffy. So, not very good for me. So right now I think I've lost... How many? 2 raiders? 2 raiders for 4 wolves. Not good at all. This is really bad. And then these raiders, they need to get home and meet up with the other raiders without getting caught. So hopefully they can make it. We'll see if they do. And nope, they get caught a little bit. So what do? Try to save them. Try to escape over here. I should be moving these back this way instead of trying to come this way. Yeah, just really bad raider micro. I've lost 4 raiders for 4 wolves. 5 wolves, excuse me. That is just basically irrecoverable damage. I guess my ace in the hole is maybe he like overreacts to the dragons or underreacts to the dragons. Yeah, essentially right now the game is over. I'm forced to tower up because I don't think I can hold this. And hopefully this dragon slayer can somehow do the trick. These raiders are gaining a little bit more value when they really shouldn't be, because honestly Haffy doesn't need to fight this at the moment, especially because they are full health, and he already got 4 raiders for free, essentially. He's kind enough to donate me a few. Also, this SimCity is bad. This should have been placed 1 hex lower. And yeah, here's me just cleaning up the wolves that I think that are going to be at my third base locations. And we're just hoping that we get something done with the dragons to get ourselves back in the game. And this sort of puck-up is pretty nice too. Cool. 3 more wolves for free. We take those. Looks like that's a trend in Game 1 and Game 2. By this time I get them pretty cleanly free. Somehow we're still in it in a way, but he does have a third base, so not really. Haffy is going to go for a tower in each base, just because I guess he is afraid of... he didn't scout this. I guess this is a star sense maybe, or he already knows that I'm going to go for dragons likely after this build. I guess he didn't see the third, so that might be why. Or maybe he thinks, oh, I'm too far ahead, I just need to not die. And then I'll be good. Maybe. Yeah, so he goes for a tower in each base. I really don't think it's actually necessary for him to do this. But it's safe. So that's a very Haffy thing to do. Nice flash over here to take down this wolf and trap it. And then I think I get like a worker or two here. Maybe not even. Yeah, not even. So I come in with a dragon. There's a tower in the third base. There's a tower in the main. I'm feeling not very happy. But I do see that he is going for this advanced workshop, which I am okay with. Okay, sure, advanced workshop, nice. But he also goes for a second advanced workshop later on, if I'm not mistaken. And then after seeing this, I'm like, okay, I'm super behind. What I need to do to get back into this is something crazy, like maybe he's not paying attention to some catadrops or something like that. So that is my plan. I'm thinking, okay, I gotta put all my eggs into a high risk, high reward kind of situation because I am too far behind for it to for me to win the game. Otherwise, these dragons come in. I think they see that one red health worker and gonna try to snipe that down. Yep. The wolf comes in to try to scout this, but I have my my archers on the high ground, which is good. But yeah, as I was saying, I need to do some sort of critical damage, something wild and wacky, and therefore I'm going to go for catadrops. +1 catadrops, and hopefully Haffy's not paying attention somewhere, and we go for a big win in that sort of sense. High risk, high reward play. These dragons... You know, just trying to do a little bit of damage. And like I said, oh yeah, Haffy going for the double advanced workshops to be extra safe. But he knows that I only have a few and is not going to go for a ballista, actually. So, good play by him in that sense. But I'm actually somewhat happy that I get... he actually does go for a ballista later on. Weird. I think he doesn't really need it at this point. But obviously he doesn't know that because he doesn't know I stopped at just 2 dragons. But yeah, so these dragons and the dragon lair, by forcing out an additional tower and also 2 advanced workshops and 2 ballistas, I think they actually did enough. They did what they needed to do. This kind of brought me back into the game a little bit economically. I'm still behind like 10 workers, but these dragons did what they needed to do. Yes, they did. They got like 1 kill total. But forcing out double advanced workshop, forcing out another tower, forcing out 2 ballistas, I think they paid for themselves essentially. And now I'm sort of back into a position where I might be able to get something done with something like this catadrop that I'm trying to set up. So he does have this ballista. And generally what he likes to do is once he has the ballista against dragon, he's just going to push. So these catapults are out though. I do have a okay-ish army, so I might be able to defend. I also see that coming with the dragon, so I'm thinking, okay, I know this is coming. As you can see, I'm like trying to prepare for it. I have this catapult on the high ground. I have these units kind of split. So these archers, so I got my Rax army, and I told them to go like over here, but then these archers were on the high ground, so they took the long way around, so I lose these 4 archers for free, I believe. So obviously not good. And then I know like he likes to take another base, like a 4th base at the same time, which is why I have these units over here. Just keep an eye on that. So that's an archer for free. Not ideal, but I think I should be able to defend this with some good catapult micro. +1 is done. I'm going to go for armor after that because I'm playing against Wolf Snake, which makes sense. And I'm basically going to go into mech from here. So this is a pretty good defensive setup for me. Not amazing, but it's pretty good enough. If I had the whole army in one place, so if I have this entire army in one place, I think this fight goes a lot better for me, and it's okay. And like I think I'm like closer, like way better into the game, like more back into the game than I am right now. But unfortunately, my units are a little bit uncoordinated, and I'm also floating quite a bit at the same time because I'm microing, which is not ideal. So yeah, lose another 2 archers for free. I bring the dragons back, even though I really should have left them over here to deny the 4th base instead of just the raider. I should have had 1 dragon here, 1 dragon here, so that's a mistake for sure. Nearly lose this airship, barely save it, thankfully. That could have been disastrous. But to lose the dragons, which is not good. I think I also lost the raider on the top side as well. Another catapult going down. So yeah, I'm just bleeding units when I really shouldn't be. So bad unit coordination. I had some units on the high ground in my natural, on the low ground here. So this could have been like, if I had held this attack way better, I think I'm back in this game. Also, if I keep like the dragons and on the other side of the map, then I think I'm back in this game. But unfortunately, I don't do that. And yeah, I'm still in a bad position. Gonna try to go for a cattle drop though. Hopefully do some damage. And go for a 4th base at the same time. He does have his own units ready over here, so I'm gonna try the main base. Or the 3rd base, it looks like. I missed the target fire over here and set the auto target onto the watchtower. Double ballista is really scary. I also rebuild a dragon or 2. So the idea with the dragon is I want to like show the dragon somewhere, force the ballista to be there, and then hit with a cattle drop somewhere else. But I don't do this in the correct order. I should have done it the other way around, where the dragon attacked first, maybe on the other side of the map, like over here, and then come in with the airship. So my 4th base gets scouted. Not much I can do about that. Probably should have had these units actually over here first. Some good hold position over here to get the tower up. But yeah, at this point I'm just pretty much too far behind. Lose another dragon for free. Because why not? And seeing the ballista over there means I get an opportunity to do this cattle drop again, but Happy being very on top of things is not going to have any of that. I do get 2 workers, and then before being forced to just leave again, I think. Miss the Q fire over there as well. Get 1 more worker, but unable to pick them up because I think the ballista will just straight up kill me, so not very good. I was too greedy with this cattle drop. Should have been a bit more patient. This is also a mistake. I mistakenly SimCity this incorrectly, and units are going to get trapped over here. But I have caught up macro, like, number of workers, somehow. And, like, Xenos is actually pretty good for cattle drops, like here, like I said. He does have some towers over here, which is good. So there is still some potential. Like, it's still pretty bad for me, yes, but, you know, I've got my upgrades. I got an upgrade advantage somehow. Yes, he has double upgrades, and that's going to be nullified in a moment. But somehow I've clawed my way back into this. I really don't know how I've kind of come back into this. Like, it's not actually come back into this because I'm just, like, behind. But, yeah, I just need to take some really good fights, maybe. And then maybe there's a chance. Maybe get some catapults drops done. Gonna go for a small counterattack over here. But yeah, this army is not big enough, and this wolf snake is just gonna jump on it, and there goes my army, basically. And these catapults aren't shooting, or this catapult isn't shooting, or it was. Yeah, and then walling this off is a little bit too late, and I lose these catapults for free. That's a big army investment that I just lose. Yes, I have a bit of a counterattack, but that's just gonna not get like what a half-build tower and a house. Not the greatest. This is some good SimCity though. He's gonna try to take down my airship, which is a good move. And yeah, so it's not looking too good. And look at these units. They're getting trapped. Not good. Yeah, and at this point it's basically over. It already was over for a while, but you know. It's a Pro League game, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta try to stick to it. Probably should have been a bit more active with these units as well. I guess he has towers everywhere, so maybe I wouldn't be able to, but this is pretty nice, getting a kill here. And then taking down his airship is actually pretty good too. But yeah, I just don't have enough at this point. I've lost too many workers. I've lost too many of my units. Not very good. So I know, like right now, I should be preparing for the big old halfy dragon switch that he likes to do. But at the same time, like there's no way for me to win if I drag it on even longer. I'm thinking actually, I probably just have to play this really risky and say, hey, maybe this time you forget that dragons are a thing. And hopefully I just win with just a standard mech army. I don't know, maybe. So that's basically the only option that I really have at the moment. So that is what I'm gonna go for. Like in my mind, I already know it, and I also got the preemptive double advanced workshop, but I just don't have the economy, and I don't have enough on the ground as well. So I decide opt to not go for it, and instead go for, hey, let's try to do some counterattack with some cata drops. So this is a calculated risk that I took, but it is not going to work out. And then here is when I see my units being all weird. So this is devastating to see, by the way. Oh no, I had that huge army out the whole time, but wasn't able to use it because it was bad SimCity. Feels bad, man. And then I bring the airship in to try to get it, but gonna be a little bit too little too late. And I lose, you know, I do get a lot of units here, but obviously should have went a lot better. And also, this is when you know Haffy's gonna do that tech switch. If he's doing an attack that doesn't really make sense, this was an attack that was into a fortified location with a lot of wolf snake. He's freeing up supply for dragons, so I should know that it is dragons and start building ballista. But instead, I think, hey, I need to do some damage or else I just straight up lose, so I'm going to go for more and more cata drops. I'm just going to try to cata drop every single base at the same time, and hopefully that is he's going to miss some cata drops over here, over there, and hopefully that will be enough. So cata drop, this is also going to be a cata drop, and we're just going to try to cata drop everywhere. I should still be going for ballista, but I don't know, it's hard, it's tough to say. Please cata drop. Alright, I got one over here. Taffy is quick enough with that. I really should be attacking, doing these cata drops at the same time as well, instead of all of them, like one here, one there, that sort of thing. And I didn't even finish this cata drop either. I'm going with one. That's not good. This comes in. He's really quick with the pulls. And I also am too busy to add the workers, so they don't have the longevity that they really should have. And then the dragons are out. I have the ballista on the way, but a little bit too little too late. The mages are gonna die, so I do the slow fields. But yeah. Catadrops aren't gonna do enough. I had this from the early game, this airship, I think. You know, so there's, yeah, that's just not enough. And then I just lose the advanced workshops and I'm basically dead. But I'm just gonna try to stick into it because, you know, maybe he has like no ground units, and then my counterattack with the ground army, maybe I win. I don't know. It's a Proleague game, so you gotta fight till the very end. Yeah, but I'm floating a ton. Yeah, it's basically game over. Still didn't fix this, by the way. This forces Happy to kind of come back a little bit with his dragons, but in the end, it's not going to be enough for me, at least. And an excellent win out of Happy. Definitely some poor micro in the early game. Losing those 5 Raiders meant it was basically over. Happy overreacted, in my opinion, against my dragons, which I was pretty happy with. But then some poor unit control with when he did his initial fight, and that is going to be it. Me being a little bit stubborn. Me, I'm just like, by that time where yeah, I knew it was over. I'm just trying to think, you know, what can I do next game? Cool. Let's go into the game 3. So game 3, I'm thinking, hey, that's game 2 build, the 2 Rex Raider, actually did pretty well until I just lost all the Raiders. So why not just do it again? Except don't lose the Raiders and continue making Raiders. So that's the plan. We'll see how well it goes. So yeah, same build, and I'm expecting Happy to go for the same build that he's went the whole series as well, the 2 Den. And surprise, surprise, that's exactly what he goes for. What a shocker. So, is this a good decision? Probably not. I think that this Rex probably would have been better suited if I hit it a little bit. Maybe if I hit it here. I don't know. Somewhere that is, so I left the wolf in game 1 and game 2 into the main base, so it was able to scout for any potential barracks. This is me being a little bit not smart with where I want to place the building. I think I could definitely hide this, and that would have been better. So maybe here, because you know people, they like to go around to do scouting sometimes. So yeah, so if I was to hide it, maybe I would see it. Maybe not here. Maybe like here actually. Maybe probably here, so that it's part of the wall on my 3rd later on. Is where I would hide it if I were to do this again, instead of being here. So the advantage of this is that it's going to be part of the wall for the natural later on when you do get your natural, but this is just easily scouted, and now Happy knows, okay, I'm going to go for a 3rd, oops, yep, there you go, 3rd house, and also snakes it looks like. So I guess this is a small adaptation out of Happy. In game 2, he did not go for snakes this early, instead just went for a house. If I remember correctly, maybe he went house snake charmer? I'm not entirely sure. Actually, I don't think he did. I think he just had a really good fight, so he didn't need to. I think he went for house and then castle. I might be wrong, though. Don't remember exactly. But yeah, essentially I need to try to do some damage with my raiders. And hopefully that goes well enough for me. Also, here's the adaptation that I made. We're going to go for a house instead of going for a base. A castle. So this is going to be a lot more dedicated than the second time. I do lose this worker, unfortunately, but my raider control so far has been pretty on par. Getting our wolf there. I probably didn't need to flash all of those raiders, but that's okay. Yeah, he sees the second house, so he knows that it's going to be pretty dedicated. And I'm going to try to target down this exposed den here. Or micro here out of this raider, but that's because I'm busy microing this side. Get the second raider, and that should be good enough, except I don't rally it properly, which is not ideal. So I lose a raider for free when I shouldn't. When I had 2 raiders even, so not very good, but the raiders in front are still alive, and this is a much better raider micro than in game 1 or 2, so on this side at least. He does get 1 snake out, and I'm going to try to go in and try to snipe that. Going for this is actually probably a bad play. I should just be attacking units here. That one is exposed, so I think going for it is okay. But and then also not rallying. Look, I'm like forgetting my cycles. I'm not going for the house. Actually, it looks like I'm just gonna go for a castle. Actually, that's fine. Nope. They go for 1 raider. That's really weird. Should go for 2 raiders, or just go for a castle. Just losing that raider at the tail end is really unfortunate. I'm gonna go for a castle here though, so that is good. But yeah, I think this is just a straight up builder to win. 2x raider I think just straight up beats Tunan. And the fact I didn't win with it in game 2 is just a bit of an embarrassment really, even when I went for the 5 raiders. I think just losing them is unacceptable in game 2. But yeah, we have our castle up. We've done a good amount of damage at the front, a lot of pressure. Look at the units loss is really good. So yeah, this is definitely better raider control. Losing that 1 raider at home is really poor. But other than that, I think it's okay. I lose another raider. That probably could have been avoided. Those flashes weren't exactly the best because they were all kind of all at once. But that does mean I do get a natural, and I am going to go for that same style where I'm going to go for a quick fortress, going to go for dragons. And this is looking way better than game 2. I expect if I try to do the same thing against him again, I don't think it would work. I don't think he would actually open 2N again. Like, I don't think I don't think he would do that. Against me, at least. Maybe he does. Yeah, I think this is pretty good for me. This Raider micro over here at the end is actually pretty good. Good pullback micro. Almost get that wolf there. But yeah, by now all these raiders are pretty weak, so I think backing up is the correct play. Maybe you leave like this raider in front. Yeah, these 2 raiders in front. By now I'm thinking, where is his natural? I have a natural. I have a fortress almost done. He should have some sort of natural or some sort of proxy, I guess, maybe. I guess because of how game 1 and game 2 went, I'm underestimating how much damage I did. So I'm thinking there must be some sort of something proxy, which is why I'm sending these raiders around. And notice how I purposely choose the weak HP raiders. And then now that I've sent 2 raiders around, this raider army isn't quite big enough to deal with that, especially with the snakes there. So I'm just going to try to gather up some more, regen some more, and then probably I'll take a fight over here. Yep. Obviously you want to put the healthy raiders up front, and then flash the weak ones back. Get a nice move pickup over here, and then when he's going across the map, I come in to check to see if there's a base, and I still don't see a base, so I'm just playing a little bit defensive. I have a tower that's almost ready, nicely timed out to when his push comes across the map. So well done. I think I lose both of these raiders, which is not ideal. Also notice how even though I've been on, I think I've probably mined it a little bit more. Not quite yet, but yeah, not quite. I was gonna say because my saturation is better, but yeah, it's a little bit better. Anyways, Happy's gonna go for a bird. It seems like to do the scouting into the main base. I somehow saved both raiders actually, so that's pretty good. That's nice. I mess up this flash, by the way. This is embarrassing. Actually, no, I don't. I thought I messed it up. Maybe it was some other game. Maybe it was this flash. But yeah, I think just the early game skirmishes were a little bit too good for my favor. Getting the 10, getting like 17, make that looks like 22 for 3, which is pretty good. Units lost severely in my favor, and he is chasing a little bit too far. And then his natural is just way too far behind for me, of mine. Did he cancel the bird? Units? No. Yeah, he did cancel the bird. Weird. Interesting. Well, yeah, I just win the fight because of he didn't have enough units and I just micro. And yeah, that is a win for me. I'm glad that I was able to redeem myself. Not the greatest play throughout the series, but a win is a win. So we take that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this series. I think game 1, I win because of just a better build or a better game plan, and he didn't really recognize what was going on. Because like if you the first time you see something like that, it's just mind blowing. Game 2, I just had poor micro in the early game, losing the 5 raiders for. Well, I didn't lose all 5 of them, but basically for free. I lost 4 raiders for 4 walls, which is just terrible. And then game 5 or game 3, just better raider micro, and then going for the second house before the castle, and we win. Cool. So that is a win for me. We take it. And then there is no game against Nigat because unfortunately it was not played. So yeah, so I had my series against Rerat, series against Glaba, series against Hafi, and then didn't play against Slammer's team, and then unfortunately the game versus Nigat was not played as well. So yeah, that's a pretty quick recap of Pro League from my point of view, from our team's point of view. So yeah, it was really exciting. I'm glad everyone who, I guess thank you to everyone who played. It was a really nice season. I guess a little bit too long. I could tell people were getting pretty tired at the end of it, but that sort of thing does happen. Hopefully this was a little bit informative and instructive, and yeah, thanks for watching.